See what I'm saying now, Brittany?
I can't relate to that. I drop my phone a lot.
Brittany was asking me if I've ever made a mistake in my life.
He's literally human barking at me, and he goes to me, "Quit barking at me!" And you're the one going, "Wah, wah, 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 wah,
That's because I was imitating you.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to pretend I'm your husband now.
It was effective.
Yeah, whatever you say, honey. Yes, dear.
That's exactly how it
That's
goes.
the plan. Is that the ticket?
I mean, spot on.
All right. So, anything big happened over the weekend?
Yes. I got to MC, and I'm saying that in quotations, the Secondhand Hounds 5K, and it was so fun.
That's the ticket.
It was a blast. Everyone brought their dogs. Everyone did their run. Some people really ran hard, and it was hot on Sunday.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. And we just had a lot of fun. I met a lot of people. Most importantly, I met all their dogs, and that was really fun.
That is very, very nice. They raised a lot of money?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I forget what the end total was. I think they're still figuring it out because they had like 10 different different revenues coming in with selling shirts, and it was just funny because it felt kind of like I shouldn't be emceeing. You know, like I was commenting when people would walk by, I'd be like, "Good job, 287. Good job running." Like it kind of felt really low budget, but in a really fun way. Like I got to just be really corny and dumb and obnoxious.
So like on the show.
Exactly.
Where were you exactly?
Purgatory Park in Eden
Prairie.
Prairie.
I love that. That's very nice.
It is really nice.
Yep.
It's right next to that the flagship Lifetime, and I drive by there all the time, and I never stop. But it's beautiful.
Indeed.
And I got to hold a 9-month-old baby for like 20 minutes, and he was just this little peanut. You kind of forget how small they are, and that was everything.
Babies are the best.
Babies are the best. So
No
it was
question.
fun. How about you? What'd you do this weekend?
Nothing. I just sat and stared at the wall. It was typical. Now I was going to play golf on Saturday and Sunday. I did not end up playing on either.
Whoa.
I don't know. I gotta get readjusted. I think the clubs that I have are not good for me anymore.
Okay.
You know how you move on in life and you need, you swing harder, you swing softer, whatever.
Yeah.
I think I'm swinging way too hard because the clubs are too stiff for me. Because you're a stiff, so you should know that.
How do you go figure that out?
I'll just go over to the golf shop and just they run tests on you and all that stuff to see what your swing speed is and all that stuff. So I'll do that, and if that doesn't work, I'm never playing golf again. What do you think of that, actually?
I've heard that dramatic.
Do you hear what I said?
I've heard you. I've been at golf charities with you, and you go to me, "I'm never playing golf again."
I haven't played golf in 6 years.
Yeah, but you've
A
played
whole
golf
round,
since that comment.
I don't think so.
No.
I think I folded it up right there, at that table right there.
Broke every club you had.
And I'll get back to it, but I was so busy for 6 years trying to avoid working with assholes that I just didn't have any time to play golf.
So did you not play this weekend because of your clubs, or just because of the random rain?
I went out with friends on Saturday, and just played like crap for 4 holes, and I went, I just don't want to do this right now. I got to go figure this out. I don't want to be dragging you guys down. So I said, and then yesterday I was supposed to play with Common Man and Meat Sauce, and I didn't even go to that because I just didn't. I don't have a swing. I'll get there.
You'll get there.
It'll be fine. And Jake, my buddy, was going to be there too. So I got to get back with my friends, But I mean, Rudy, you must go through as a golfer. You go through periods where you're like, "What the hell am I doing? I'm not doing anything right."
Your mic isn't working.
Why?
What is happening?
You want to come and sit in here?
He's going to have to, he said. I'm translating. She's like, "Do you want to come sit in here?" He goes, "I'm going to have to." Oh, my God.
I love radio so much, I can't even tell you.
Oh, no.
I just love radio.
Okay, so you may or may not have some new wheels. Would you like to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. We'll get Rudy all teed up and settled in. And make sure those work, actually, because they've been sitting off the charger for about 800 years.
These should be, these are all right.
Oh, look at that. The
Yeah.
mic's
Look at
on.
that.
Everything's good.
I did play golf this weekend.
Where?
We played Southern Hill.
I don't know that one.
It is down in Eden Prairie, and when we got there, I'm like, this sounds like a golf course that only lets whites play.
Only white people?
Southern Hill sounds like a place that is not caught up.
Southern Hill.
But it is. It's a very nice course. It's the second time I played it. Last year was the last It was the last round of the year, and I shot one of my best rounds of golf ever. I shot like a 93 last year, and then this year shot a 102. And I was like,
That's where I am right now,
Yeah.
too. I just can't play at all.
yeah, it's awful.
It's driving me nuts.
Where did you say it was?
Southern Hill, it's down. I'm sorry, not Eden Prairie, it's Farmington.
That's what I
Is
was saying.
yeah.
I was like,
I have played
I
there.
was
Yeah,
like, I've never heard of this golf
Yeah.
course.
You got some good golf courses. What, is Stone Ridge out by you? Is that Eden Prairie?
I've never
Or
heard
is
of
that even further south?
That sounds Stone Ridge.
The one you get to take the pontoon across the lake? Ah!
That
What
one
do you
says
think of
it's
that action?
Stillwater.
What's in Stillwater?
Stone Ridge Golf Club.
Oh, there's one in Stillwater?
There must
Or is
be
that
one
the
in Stillwater.
I don't know. I haven't played there in so long. I probably got the name wrong or location or
It's
whatever.
fun that there's a whole little water feature, though.
See?
Say.
What more could you ask for? So you did play. You weren't happy with it. I played 4 holes and went, fellas, I just am not going to drag you down. I can't do anything right. I literally, on a par 3, knocked it on the front of the green and 4-putted.
Yeah.
Like, what?
There was one hole where I whiffed. I whiffed. I haven't whiffed on a ball since I was 11.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I whiffed on a swing, and the next swing put the ball 5 feet from the hole. How is that possible?
I know. It's so. I'm going to have to go get like Walter Brennan. You guys don't know who that is, so I got to get somebody else. Who's really old on television? There's got to be a character that's really old on TV right now, I would think.
Right now?
Because it used to be it would be like Grandpa on the Munsters.
Munsters? Yeah. Al Lewis.
Was it Al Lewis?
Grandpa Al Lewis, yeah.
He was on the show a couple times, and you know that's actually how he talks. I was talking to the man yesterday, and he
Really?
That's
Yeah.
actually how he talks.
Yeah.
It's like, are you in character right now? Nah, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? It's like a very stiff mouth.
It is a very stiff mouth thing, but to this day I love that show, The Munsters. I got to be honest with you, it's fantastic. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna probably go over to the golf shop today and have them take a gander at the swing because it ain't happening right. I literally think the clubs are not in my wheelhouse anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I hate to sound like I'm an advertisement for Golf Zone, but they do these things where Golf Zone is that year-round driving range that my husband's obsessed with, and they do these things where the people come out and you can test a bunch of different clubs
Yeah.
at once.
Yep.
I know, maybe
That's
that's
what I'm gonna do.
normal. Yeah, maybe is that okay?
Demos?
Yeah. And Justin swears I have to go to this demo, and they're happen to be like 3 hours long.
You know what one
Comes
guy
with
told
somebody
me?
else's lipstick on his
I'm
collar.
not kidding you, this is true. Comes home with somebody else's lipstick on his collar. Nice thing to say.
I'm just saying, golf should not take that long. Hello, you're hitting the ball.
That
over.
it's not Rudy and me, pal, or your husband. It's those guys that love to play in 5.5 hours for Christ.
Yeah.
What can you how can you give up half your day?
And who are these jerks that pull the pin? Stop pulling the pin every
You
time.
don't have to pull
You
the
don't
pin.
have to pull the pin every time
They
now.
still think you do.
I hate that. It's like, let's
I
get this
know.
moving, guys. Come on. Stop pulling the pin. Stop reading the green. You're not Tiger goddamn Woods. Knock it off.
Have
Well,
you
they think they are.
Have you
yeah.
seen that trend where people bring like 3 different clubs in like a backpack and they sprint, they hit
yeah.
and sprint,
Oh,
hit
yeah.
and sprint? I think that's the way you guys should do it. Get some cardio in.
There was a guy over
Get
GV,
home.
literally played the first time every day by himself, and he carried like 5 clubs with him. And he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I hated him for that.
Crazy.
To this day, I hate him. You know.
It definitely hits differently. Like when Justin used to golf for 5 hours when we didn't have a kid, I was like, have fun. Bye.
Right, who cares?
Walking around the house living my best life.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I feel like one of those classic TV wives where like, you're golfing all the time.
Yeah.
You know what's sad about that is Catherine's a much better golfer than I am, and it really pisses me off.
Yeah,
Well, she's long and lean. That long and lean thing really works in golf. It really does.
true that.
But it was suggested to me that because I have short legs and long arms, that I should play women's clubs because men's clubs are too long for me.
Yeah, I play
Oh.
women's.
Do you?
Yeah.
Some people probably do. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I have to. I play women's and I play graphite.
Oh, you do? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
because I'm such a short guy and I don't have that great of a swing, and the graphite definitely helps you. It's a little more forgiving than the steel
Yeah, it
clubs,
is, yep.
so that's why.
I agree.
Yeah.
Is women's clubs to men? Is it just the length? Is the only difference?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't think there'd be any. I don't even know why they would verify. They should just do height then.
It also comes in a very pretty pink bag.
I
It
love
does.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Love
True.
that.
It's absolutely true.
Okay, I got to go fix that mic because we got some interviews and we got some stuff coming up
That's
with Bob.
unbelievable.
I don't know what's up with it, but I got to fix it before we get into the next segment. So.
Rudy, it was lovely having you sitting here.
Thank you very much.
How lovely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Felt like just
Thank
three
you.
best
Thank you very much.
friends hanging out.
That's what it is. That's exactly what we're talking about. Okay, well, he's going in there. What did you ask me? You asked me to talk about something. I forgot what it was. It was about,
I said,
my car.
Yeah. Your new car.
I have a new car, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Sprinthal, who has become one of my best friends. I love that man. He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
He's so good.
So, when Dougie moved on and I moved on from that last position he had, he's now at Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin, which is about a 20-minute drive from East St. Paul. It's not that far at all. I mean, it took me literally to get from Baldwin, Wisconsin to my house, which I live on the far west side of the metro, kind of like where you live.
Yeah.
It took me about 45 minutes. It was
Okay.
just not that big a deal. So I went over there and I got a all-electric Mustang. It's kind of an SUV kind of.
It's got a booty.
It's got a booty. It's true.
I haven't seen it in person. I'm excited to see it after the show. But how's it drive?
Unbelievable. It's very comfortable. It's got everything. One thing I do have to adjust to, there's a screen about the size of that one on the dashboard.
That's wild. It's
Whoa!
a huge screen. That's wild.
Huge screen on there. But no, it's one thing I did notice today, and God, I loved it so much. Over on Highway 100, there's a one-lane entrance. So in other words, you got to get in that lane immediately or you ain't getting on the highway, right?
Yeah.
So there was a guy that wasn't going to let me in. I looked over, and he was definitely going to beat me to the post. I floored it and beat him by about 10 car lengths.
Oh, my God.
That car is so fast, I can't even tell you. My God, that car is fast.
That's wildly fun.
But look at, once again, I have to lead the world in driving all electric.
Look at you. Do you want your award? Or are you waiting for your...
Yeah. I want my awards for driving. Well,
So you have to plug it in at night,
Yep, you plug it in at night.
and you have to plug it in every night?
You don't have to, no.
Okay.
I do, but you don't have to. As a matter of fact, I've got the low-range charger now. I'm getting the high-range charger put in on Friday.
Oh, high range, like you can go far.
I can go very quickly and get up to, I think this car has like 320 miles on one charge.
And then, so you said 320 miles on one charge, and then does your car tell you where there are chargers then?
I don't need it. I think it does because we went to Target to look at all the penis pictures on the children's clothing.
Of course, as one does.
No, we went there. You know why we did go to Target?
Why'd you go to Target?
Because they have the best, what are those long foam things for the pool for kids?
Oh, yeah, like a pool noodle.
Yeah, pool noodle. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. One was a dinosaur.
Of course.
And one was a unicorn. So we went there to get them for Sage and Fawny, and they loved them. And so we were in there, and they got a bunch of chargers. The one over in St. Louis Park. They must have 20 chargers over there.
20 car chargers?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
on
you just bought them at Target.
On the west side. No, not bottom. You can charge your car. at
Oh,
Target.
yeah, that's what we were talking. They were available to charge. At
Yeah.
first, I thought you were saying you also bought that, and I was like, what?
Charge will get that every block on my neighborhood. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be like a little alert of when you're making a trip. Rarely when you go somewhere really far, like where the next stop is. Are you going to bring that one to Florida?
I think no.
No.
Nope, I will not. I've got a different Mustang there, which I only drive about 1,500 miles a year, something like that.
Yeah.
So in any case, but it went very, very smooth. Doug Sprinthal, one of my favorite people. Everybody I met at Flagship Ford is a huge listener. They love it. A couple of guys came up and said, "Tommy, you enjoying retirement?" I said, "Please don't say that word to me."
I know. We're not allowed to say it. I was at your non-retirement party, and we weren't allowed to say it.
Well, it's just, that's what business does. Oh, he retired. No, I didn't. I told you not to say that,
Yeah.
and you said it anyway because you're a drunk.
Yeah, well.
Right?
What?
Is there any better reason?
Made me
I
very
love that look
uncomfortable.
on your face.
Like,
that look on your face was phenomenal just now.
it just feels like,
I didn't say who did. I just said they were a booze hound.
Okay,
It's a big difference.
And there's a lot of them,
There's a lot of booze hounds in the world.
What color did you get? What car?
White.
Your car? Ooh.
It's funny because my next door neighbor, Mike and Susan, great, really terrific people. When you start at John's house, which is, If you look at my house, look out the front door, there are 2 places to the left is where John lives. He drives a white SUV. Now, Catherine and I both have a white and silver SUV. Then you go to Mike and Susan, they have 2 white SUVs. As you go around the whole cul-de-sac, it's all white SUVs. It's really weird.
That is weird.
But I suppose that's a vehicle of now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, it's kind of like a lot of people drive those. I see a ton of them on the road, man.
Just like a SUV, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, we probably should go to break because we got, what's that name of that pain in the ass again? I got to look up his name. Oh, yeah, Bob Sanchez. That's his name.
Oh, it's not going to be for long. He's got a new name.
Sandy does? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to find out what that's all. Does it start with an A and end with an E?
Pretty much.
A-hole? Is that it?
That's been his old name for a long time.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, we'll take a break here. Be right back. A lot of great stories, as a matter of fact. Passenger train service between Twin Cities and Duluth really happening. I hope so, because I tell you what, if you've never done that trip, I did it with my family like 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. It is so much fun at Christmas because you go up there, and there's Christmas lights all the way up to Duluth.
That's just so cool.
It's really cool. And then you go in the rotating restaurant at the Radisson.
Nice, huh? Living our best lives.
All right, we'll take a break here. Be right back with Annie. Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching the MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. Now nearly 20 years later, he discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has a patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, and now with a brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread. The MyPillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you will ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with promo code TOM. MyPillow 2.0 with its temperature-regulating technology is 100% made in the USA, which I love, and comes with a 10-year warranty, which I also love, and a 60-day money-back guarantee, which I've never used. Just go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Just when you thought MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Enter promo code TOM, that's T-O-M, or call 800-516-5146 to get your MyPillow 2.0s now.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just kind of waiting around till, what's your name again?
I'm ready.
Brittany? Brittany something?
I'm officially ready.
Ooh, you got her working in there now. I heard that. So that was good. Yeah, Rudy's fixing a microphone in there. Doesn't know what the hell happened to it, but I was very happy to hear that Andy wasn't here Thursday and Friday, so it couldn't have been him.
Yep,
So
there you
that's
go.
the good news there. I get very touchy about that with my children. If something goes wrong and my children, either they were or not involved, I get very touchy about that.
Yeah, no one's walking around blaming Andy for anything ever. So I
didn't
don't know
say
why
they,
you're
I
feeling
didn't
like
say they were. I'm
Rudy
just
would
warning
never
it.
be like, "What did Andy do?"
That's not what I'm saying at all. Pay attention, sister.
I hear you. It's nice that he's completely did not. There's no chance he did that.
Can you guys hear this? Okay, you can hear this now. As I
Boy,
can tell
that
by your
looks really
face.
comfortable.
It's not comfortable, but okay, at least. So, the way you technically fix things is by process of elimination, and we have figured out we've eliminated everything, and I think I got it now. So we're gonna have to change out some microphones. But
Oh, you think that is the microphone?
Yeah, because I've tried everything else in here, and then I don't know. They bought these things brand new out of the box, which I was like,
I know.
That means we have at least 5 to 6 months with these. Nope, it literally was like 5 weeks ago we bought these, and now they've completely crapped out.
Have more than one of them done it?
I don't know. Well, because you guys have the same mics in there that I have, but yours are all
do.
working. So I don't know.
Well, it's because I don't ever talk on this show, so it doesn't get overworked like with Brittany.
I refuse to respond to that.
I'm not even going to talk to you about that,
I'm
Tom.
protesting.
All right, it is time to talk to the Orb, though. How you doing, Orby?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Well, doing magnificently well. I was just sitting here schmoozing with my buddies, and now you joined the fray, so I think that's a good thing.
Well, it's too bad your buddies didn't stick around for me when I come on. Oh, you're talking about Brittany and Rudy?
Yeah, you asshole.
Oh my God! What a personal attack!
Oh my God!
Personal attack. I said.
I tune in. I hear Rudy and Brittany throwing poor Andy under the bus.
What? I literally was saying how it was never going to be Andy, even if he was here. Listen,
How you doing there,
listen
Rudy?
up.
That's a good look.
I thought you were being facetious.
Honestly, Rudy's in studio the control room right now, and he's holding the mic like, when I was 17, it was a very good. I thought you were going to belt out a tune in there.
You guys want to hear like the standard?
Oh my God! Now that one's breaking up.
This one's not working. Oh my God! What is going on today?
Oh God! Welcome to podcasting and radio, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? Just give me a Campbell's soup can and a string. We're just gonna. That's how we're gonna broadcast today.
We'll stretch her out. So, Sanny.
Yeah.
Oh no, Rudy. Is it part 1 to Bob or part 2 to Bob?
We will do. You guys can chat with Bob for a minute, but we got a new bit that started on Friday called Crumpet The Orb that we're going to do with Bob after you guys get a chance to talk some sports.
Okay.
Stuff, so, yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I don't want to talk sports though because the Twins in the last 3 games have scored a total of 4 runs.
Well, and they got a scare yesterday with Royce Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's okay. He said he's
Good.
just a little sore. He went tumbling face first.
Bob, why can't this team figure out their middle relief and their hitting? Their hitting went right in the tank. They won one game 1-0, thank God. They're lucky they didn't lose 3 out of 4 to a horrible team. Cleveland is not good in any way, shape, or form.
No, you're absolutely right about that. But Cleveland is, they're closing the gap. They've gotten a little bit ahead of the Tigers, so they're right. They're in the mix.
What are you, 3.5 back?
Yeah, 3.5. But
we could have put this entire division away already, and we haven't done it because sometimes I watch those games, you could see it coming. These guys have this lackadaisical kind of strut up to the plate, and I'm like, oh, this is not good.
They would be, as we've talked before, 10 games out, at least 10 games out, maybe 10.5 in the East.
Yep, they would be
ahead of the Red Sox, and that's it.
Sandy, I love my Twins. I watched the Twins over the weekend. I do love the Twins, and I always will. But this middle relief, particularly that what's his name, Lopez. Oh my God, is he bad? And by the way, nice. No, never mind. I'm not even going to say another word. You're pissing me off. The problem
too, the middle relief. Yes, should be fixed. But if Buxton and Correa were hitting,
yes, yep.
And they're both, they're hurt. Joey Gallo's on the DL. They're dropping.
They are, Bob. I love my Twins. I watched a couple games over the weekend. What you need to do, Sandy, is get me away from the TV because every time I watch the game, they lose now. It's my fault. I accept full responsibility.
Well, it was a beautiful day yesterday. You should have been out.
Rudy sneaking in again, man. Oh, you going to take that one? Good call. Yeah, I think that's a really good call. Rudy's trying to fix the microphone in the control booth. I don't know what the hell happens, but that's a brand new microphone too, Bob. What the hell are we supposed to do?
Maybe you should go on the Marketplace and have them buy a few used ones.
And get on Marketplace. There you go.
Stood the test of time.
So what else, Sandy? What else you got cooking?
Well, Dalvin Cook, it hasn't happened yet, but it seems like it's imminent. And the team that keeps coming up is Miami, that they could be going after him if the Vikings do wind up cutting him loose, which if they're going to do it, I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Where's his brother play again, Bob?
They could.
Where's
his brother plays in Buffalo.
Buffalo, there you go.
And I thought that might not be bad to play with his brother, but I'm guessing his brother's not real crazy about that because that would cut into his ability to play or his time. So there are teams that would be interested in him, but is he washed up? I don't know. He certainly played like he's heading in that direction.
Yeah, he did not have a good year last year, that's for sure.
So, but that will open up a lot more cap space for the Vikings were they to do that.
Okay, you giving it a whirl now?
I think this one. Whoa! Look at that.
So it's the microphone that doesn't work.
It's the mic, yeah. So brand new
Brand
mic.
new.
Yeah, I called engineering. They're gonna have Adam swing up here with a brand new one here. So we'll have to just get through this show with me using this
Well,
microphone.
it sounds good, though.
Sounds fine. Yeah, yep, it's all right. Sounds good.
It's so weird. 1 month old and the mic craps out.
Yeah, weird. And it's weird that both of yours still work perfectly. I wonder if there's just something different in this room, like maybe a wire shorted it, or who knows?
Who knows what
Asbestos.
it is?
Yeah,
It's
what it is.
asbestos. That's exactly what it is.
Well, I'm glad they got that extended warranty on the microphone.
True that.
The extended 30-day extended warranty. Yeah, that's real nice.
Okay, aren't microphones like refrigerators? They never break down. This is stunning to have. How many of them you had crap out on you?
This is the first time I've ever had a mic stop working. I've had cords that have shorted out. I've had processors because there's something digital. That happens. But the fact that a microphone just stopped working, that never happens. They're built like tanks.
Right. No, you're absolutely right about that. But that mic does sound really good. Maybe you shouldn't even get a new one. Just get a new one in here.
Yeah, I dig this mic, actually.
That mic sounds really good. Well, try yours now.
Oh, mine?
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I know. I knew I was going to say that.
You just walked right into that one.
At first, I thought you were talking to Bob, so I was like, yeah, Bob, try yours, Orb.
Brittany, where's your fancy white headphones?
Oh, I know. I left them at My Talk.
Oh.
Where talk is fun.
Where talk is fun and you leave shit behind.
I leave my big old white headphones. I'm using Tom's today.
Why'd your headphones have to be white? I'm offended.
I know you are.
Oh, I got to tell you very quickly, because Sandy, you'd love this one. There was a national reporter on this morning, or she was an anchor, actually, wasn't a reporter. But I hate this so much when you can look at her and see she's like Norwegian or something, right? Maybe Swedish. You know what I'm talking about, that look?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she's doing this, that, and the other thing. And they're talking about some strife in the world and some bad weather and this, that, and the other thing. And she went just like this. And, lady, stop trying so hard, okay? Looks like there may be some thunderstorms passing through with possibly dangerous conditions in, actually it goes from El Paso all the way down to Colombia. I hate it when they do that.
Yeah.
You do that, though.
Colombia. No, I don't.
Say mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Yeah, see?
Mozzarella, Bob. It's mozzarella, isn't it?
You do that all the
sound
time.
like Gloria on Modern Family. Colombia.
Colombia. Oh, Colombia. I'm going to Colombia. Where the coffee is mountain grown. Remember that? Mountain grown coffee in Colombia, baby.
Juan Valdez and his trusty donkey.
That's exactly right. Who on this show would be your trusted donkey there? Britt?
And you're out of you guys?
I said donkey, not ass. There's a big
that's
difference.
a hard one.
There's a big difference in the two there.
I refuse to pick. You guys are all mud donkeys.
Pain in the ass.
Donkey.
All of us. So Sandy, we just got to slog through another season with the Twins, and all I do is keep remembering '87 though, when they sucked all year, they still won the World Series.
But you also remember last year when they went into September with a sizable lead and frittered that away.
Tanked it. It was just a huge tank job, but what the hell? So I'll follow my Twins to an early grave if I have to. Right?
Now, you're having no trouble finding them on television?
I just tuned into Colombia Broadcasting
Colombian
System.
TV.
Or CBS, it's called Colombia Broadcasting System. I hate it when they do that. So, look, you're Swedish. Stop that. Mm-hmm. Right?
Say almond.
Yeah, almond. You say that wrong, and you always have. You're a disaster.
Say other Italian foods.
Oh, you mean mozzarella because we say mozzarella?
Yeah.
Although I don't do this because some people do this. Yes, waiter, I would like some lasagna.
Yeah, right.
Stop saying lasagna.
Right.
Okay, calm down.
I used to sell shoes, and this lady came in and was like, "Oh, do you have any Birkenstocks?" I was like, "Stop! I will not help you out, ma'am."
I love that.
I was like, "What did you just say, ma'am?"
I love it.
You guys
The
want to
ones
move on?
that are funny too in Minnesota. The first time I heard it, I meant it meant spaghetti, but they're talking about noodles.
Noodles, yeah.
Let's have some noodles.
Have some
What?
noodles. Yep.
Would they be called
be
something
tasty.
different? Well, I guess spaghetti is the noodle,
Is the
correct?
noodle, yep.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
It is the noodle.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, now we're going to a reporter in Colombia right now because, Well, but although she didn't continue, she just said Colombia and then went back to talking like a Swede. It was unbelievable. It was like, God, you're trying way too hard, lady. Cut the comedy. So what were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you guys want to move on to the latest bit with Bob Sanchez?
With Bob Sanchez?
With Bob Sanchez.
This ought to be just a barn burner.
How exciting.
Okay, so we got an intro for it. Here you go.
Okay.
And now, broadcasting live from his mystical cave in an office building in Wayzata, it's time for Crumpet The Orb.
So if you guys remember on Friday, we started calling Bob the Orb.
The Orb,
The
yes.
Orb, because he refuses to take the sticker off of his laptop while he's on StreamYard when we record the show for
Correct.
YouTube.
Correct.
For some reason, I don't know how it got brought up that we called him Crumpet the Orb. I don't
know. That seems like a Tom nickname.
Yeah, Tom had called him Crumpet the Orb.
That
and I'm
seems like you would call him that.
Yeah.
Oh, because instead of Kristyn the Orb, it's Crumpet the Orb.
Oh, Crumpet the Orb.
I
Okay,
get it.
yeah,
That's
there we go.
actually
Okay,
pretty
yep.
cute.
I get
So
You bored?
No.
Over there yawning.
No. Okay.
Jesus.
Yawning, playing with her hair.
You guys are being so hypercritical. I'm enjoying this talk. I actually like this bit. It's very funny. It's very
Okay,
Bob Sansevere.
So, Crumpet the Orb is a predictor, if you will. And every Monday, Crumpet the Orb, is going to give out 3 predictions, and we'll see if they come true on Friday. So he has the entire week. Like, if he says this week, and it doesn't have to be sports related, it could be anything. It could
Yeah,
be
I love
news,
that.
it could be entertainment, but he will make 3 predictions on Monday, and then we will check in with those predictions on Friday, and we'll keep a tally to see how accurate Crumpet the Orb really is.
You know what I love about this, Bob? There's an accountability aspect that you sometimes weasel out of, but we're going to be able to have some accountability towards you to say, this is what you told us, and this is what happened.
All right. Are you ready?
Of
Yes.
course I am.
Prediction number
right.
1, Crumpet.
First, number 1, Brittany will put her face in her hand
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
on Friday. Number 2, Brittany will play with her hair on Friday. Number 3, Brittany will bitch about Tom for some reason on Friday.
God, what a shock.
Wow.
Shock at a
I think I'm
century.
locked in with those 3.
I think
And
you're locked in with those 3 as well.
Oh, yeah. No question.
And here's what another. I'll give you a sports. I'll give you a 4th one. The Twins will be 3.5 ahead because they suck, but so does every other team in that division of theirs.
Bob, I have to point something out to you because you brought it up with Brittany, and I want to ask you the same
Yeah.
question. Because I've always been told I have catcher's mitt hands. And I went, what are you talking about? They're not that big. Look at the screen, Bob. You see my picture?
I do.
Watch this. Look how big my hands are. I didn't know my hands were that big, for Christ's sake.
It just hit you.
Well, I mean, look at, geez, I could wrap my hand around my entire head.
I'm putting my hand in the orb. You can see it.
Oh,
You can't see Bob's
the
hand in the orb.
Crumpet the Orb.
So is that just, with the short legs and the long arms, got the huge hands, so I am a monkey. There's no question about it. Right?
One might make that that assertion. Yes.
I am a gorilla or a monkey or an orangutan.
That's actually a huge compliment. I don't know
Is
if
it?
we could just give that to you.
That's a compliment to say you're monkey-like?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
you're evolving.
Yes, or devolving.
Devolving.
Thank you. I saw that coming, sister. All right, Sandy, what else you got?
Well, I mean, now, did any of you watch? Because Mike Bryant's the one who brought it to my attention, that Manifest, which I got into. It's now the final part 2 of season 4. Did you ever get into that where they're on a plane, they disappear for a number of years and come back, and it's just it's an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
But
And they don't age at all.
The only problem, and I gave that show up because I tuned in and not one person that I used to work with that I didn't like was on the flight. I was hoping they'd all be people I used to work with that I didn't care for, and they were stranded.
And come back, though?
Oh, they come back?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
I
Never
was
mind.
like-
If you'll recall, I
Never
disappeared
mind.
6 times.
Yes,
from
you
that
did.
show.
You disappeared 6 different times. Sandy getting fired constantly.
The
Oh,
record.
well. The
Beat
record.
Billy Martin.
You are correct, sir. All right, is that going to do it, Sandy?
Yeah, that and that fabulous Kristen's coming up next.
Ooh.
She is indeed. Thank you, Sandy.
All right,
Thank
we'll
you,
see you guys.
Crumpet.
Talk to you later. Bob Sansevere, ladies and gentlemen. Very quickly looking at the weather. Partly sunny, hot and humid with an isolated afternoon storm. Not severe, though. A high of 88. Tuesday, not as hot with partial sun and a few thunderstorms. 83. Wednesday, mostly sunny and very nice. Now, you have to remember, it does this until June 20th every year. We go, why are we getting so many thunders? Because we do every year. The first 2-3 weeks in June is always wet as hell.
Yeah.
It comes and goes, thank God, because there was some beautiful weather over the last week.
Oh, this last weekend was amazing.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, Wednesday, mostly sunny, 80. Thursday, mostly sunny, 81. And that's as far as we go. That's a 4-day forecast. So it's looking pretty good. 68 and partly cloudy right now. So not bad. Not a bad week at all coming up. That's cool.
Did I not, explain the bit to Bob as well as I should have?
I know.
feel
He had
like
no idea.
Yeah, because I talked to him on Friday about it, and I was like, hey, I think this Crumpet the Orb thing could have some legs. Like,
He
I
had
could take
no
off.
preparation. That's
None.
why he just grabbed on to that. And I didn't want to call him
Lazy
out
Bob.
because I was like, okay,
That's nice.
I'll be nice for once. But I'm like, he did not prepare at all. That's why he's picked, Brittany's going to do this. I mean,
Yeah.
it was absolutely it. He did not do his homework.
I mean, Christ, I was already because we got the state fair coming up. I was already designing T-shirts that say "Crumpet the Orb" on it. Like I was like, this is going to be a
I
thing.
like it.
And Christ, he just blew right past.
It's
Okay,
a
well,
disaster.
forget it. All right.
No, we're trying again next week, and we're going to have to sit down and talk to him. And by sit down and talk to him, we're going to have to, prod him to say...
I guess it's going to be Kristen the Orb from now on. She'll
Kristen the
give us
Orb.
3 predictions, entertainment-wise, and then we check in with her on Friday.
And Kristen's predicts things years out sometimes. I mean, she'd make a great... Yeah, she'd make the best orb, because she'll make predictions left and right that come out.
I need to put a sticker. I need to put something gauzy
Yeah, put a
over
sticker
my-
up.
Yeah,
so you could
right.
be an orb, too. That'd be
Just throw some
magnificent.
Vaseline on there.
I know I've
Kristen-
made some decent, unexpected predictions on the show that have turned out that they came true.
They
so
did.
there you go.
No, you're absolutely right. KB2, ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt with us now. I got to ask you a question because Catherine and I, we had the family over yesterday. Well, Andy was not present, but Alex and her 2 kids came over and we was kind of hanging out. And then Catherine and I sat down to watch something. And we've been looking for a movie to watch for about 3.5 years now. And movies really suck right now, and I don't know why that is. But there's a new Ben Affleck movie. I think it's called Hypnotic. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, yes. One of the biggest disasters of his career, yes.
What happened? Because it's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie, but it's not bad.
Well, listen, every actor, this happens to everyone. No one has like a full career of hits.
Yeah.
There's always misses in there. And I think, too, if you talk to any actor, sometimes the script that they get, by the time they get on set, the interpretation becomes different.
Yeah.
And they have a different movie envisioned and they think that it's going to be great. And it just, sometimes the chemistry, the cast doesn't work out. Sometimes the director's vision
Right.
is much different than the actors. It happens.
But so why do you think it tanks so badly? Because it's not a horrible movie. It's pretty good, actually.
It was horribly reviewed. I know that. And there was no audience for it.
Why are
so.
they mad at him? What did he do now?
They're not mad at him. People love Air. Did you see Air yet?
No.
Yeah,
It's
you
a-
need to watch Air on
It's a
Amazon
movie
Prime.
about shoes.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
It's about shoes.
It's really well done.
Tommy
I
the
think it's really
T-shirt
interesting.
movie.
No, but you get to see like how the whole concept of the shoe came about and became a pop culture phenomenon. I think it's fascinating.
That was big business. Figured that whole deal out. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't by accident. It didn't just happen. They did that on purpose.
They did a really good job
They
of
did.
marketing it. And
Yeah, they
yep.
did. Because people
Yep.
will fall for anything. I'm sorry to tell. What are you going to do? No, so how long is Air?
It's short. It's only like an hour 45. It's not.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's,
say I think it's 115 minutes or something like that.
yeah.
It's almost 2 hours. 2 hours talking about
Yeah.
shoes?
But you can watch it at home and
That's
you
true.
can take a break.
That's
Yep.
very true.
2 hours is not bad. 2 hours is
Okay.
like the limit. And then it starts getting into too long a territory.
My mom watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Beverly gave me a review, and she said, I didn't hate it, and the actors in it are amazing. I think she was stuck with you where she wasn't like in love with the premise. She's
Yeah,
not this
I
big
don't-
basketball head or
Right.
big sneaker head. But I mean, her saying she didn't hate it, and she's pretty critical. I would say it's probably worth a watch.
All right, because Catherine and I are looking for movies, and every time we track down a movie started, it's like, oh my God, this movie sucks.
I think we've been talking about Air with you for quite a while.
You have,
so
yeah,
let's see if
you
we
have.
can check it off your list. Viola Davis is fantastic in that movie. So
There's also a movie
Fantastic.
called Thank You for Not Smoking.
Oh, yeah.
And in the movie, it's a movie about smoking that never shows people smoking.
Okay.
So the fact that they can get away with that, that opens up every possibility that they can make a movie about a shoe, and it would be riveting. It's actually very good. You're going to dig it.
All right. All right. We'll give it a whirl because Catherine and I are looking for movies. There's no doubt about that.
Yes. And, here's the good news. Last week, there weren't a lot of TV shows debuting. So all week, I'll have new and fresh TV shows for you to talk about with you, because we officially start the new television season. So we're officially in television season 2023, 2024.
So how many episodes are we going to get? Because they didn't film them all yet, I wouldn't assume.
Of what?
Of any series. Aren't they all still on strike?
A lot of these are already done. They're in
That's
the
what
bank.
I'm saying,
So
yeah.
these were done before the strike.
So full seasons
this is
were done?
content that's already been filmed.
Full seasons were done.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh,
A lot
okay.
of these were
That's good.
done earlier this year or last year. So there will be some new stuff. A lot of it is unscripted, but there are some scripted television shows coming in the next few weeks, which will be good. So we'll at least have fresh content tonight. And I watched my press screener last night.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most unhinged, delightful show all at once. Stars on Mars with William Shattner is coming on Fox tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be 7 p.m. Central for you guys. This show is weird and hilarious of a concept because they went to Australia. They filmed on the set where they do Dune and everything. And they spent 6 months building this set of 12 stars thinking that they are on the planet Mars. And they have to perform all these challenges. And it's so unhinged and unbelievable. At the same time, it's amazing. And then William Shatner will pop in and give them challenges. And he's like, welcome to Stars on Mars.
On Mars. He does
On
that.
Mars.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. And honestly, I think the concept might get a little bit tired in and out every single week, but it is worth the 1 hour watch tonight.
I have to show you something because we've never been on camera before. Over at the Q, we're not on camera. I've never been able to show people this. But we had James Doohan, who played Scott. Was that Scotty?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Scotty the engineer. We had him in studio, so he's like sitting where Brittany is, just to my right over here. He's sitting there, and we're talking about the Star Trek and this and that. And I was told to avoid talking about William Shattner because apparently James Doohan and William Shattner hate one another. I guess a lot of people on that set did not like William Shatner very much. Have you ever heard he's hard to work with?
Apparently, George Takei hates
him.
William Shatner.
Really?
He really hates him. But here, now I can finally do this. I got to pull my hat up a little bit because I can be on camera and do it because this is just what he did. He was sitting like this. And I said, so I know he has some trouble with some other people, but I want to ask you a very quick question. Now I'm like 3 feet away from him, just like you are. Brittany.
Yeah.
And he said, so what's your question? Because he does have a Scottish accent, by the way. That wasn't it. That was my interpretation of a Scottish accent, which wasn't very good. But he goes just like, I go, so tell us what it was like to work with William Shatner. And he went just like this. He's not a nice man.
Wow.
Oh, God. You had to make a noise right in the middle.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. He went, oh,
No,
you're a disaster.
I didn't do that.
I'm going to call James Doohan. Is he dead?
I don't.
He might not
sure.
be with us any longer. Otherwise, I'd call him and say, you ruined the impression.
I did not.
Oh, God.
I was excited to hear that one.
Honest to God, the look in his face was like Jesus, settle down, James.
I heard a interview with Shatner like 2 weeks ago, and somebody had asked him about the Captain Kirk pauses all the time, and was that like a choice? Did you make that? Was that a cadence that you thought Captain Kirk would have? And he goes, I couldn't remember the lines.
Oh, that's funny.
So he would take pauses. He'd be like, because the ship is out of control. He couldn't remember.
That's so.
So yeah, that's where it came from. And
I love that.
yeah,
It's actually great.
isn't it? Yes.
Okay, Kristen, what's the one word he cannot pronounce? There's a word he can't pronounce, and he's tried to do it, and he can't pronounce it.
I don't know.
Because he says it to Spock. What he meant to say was, Spock, sabotage the system. That's what he was supposed to say. And he went like this. And they had to do it like 50 times, and he never got it right. Spock, sabotage the system.
Oh, no.
They said, no, it's not sabotage, it's sabotage. You say sabotage, I say sabotage.
I love that. We're reinventing a word because I can't say it.
He's 90, by the way.
Yeah, he's 90 years old.
Really good. He looks really good.
I'll be honest with you, we've had him on 1 billion times. Could not be a nicer guy to deal with on the phone. He's just a great guy on the phone.
And he's funny.
Yeah, he is.
So funny.
You guys want to hear that sabotage?
I'd love to
hear
hear
you go.
it.
Here's the audio of him saying sabotage.
Spock, sabotage the system.
Okay, can we have line 193 again with sabotage, pronounced sabotage?
I don't say sabotage. You say sabotage. I say sabotage.
That's so funny. There's so many
I'm so
times.
glad you found that. That's great.
There's so many times I want to have that argument when I mispronounce something. Like, oh, no, that's just how my region says that.
Yes, it's a Minnesota thing.
My region.
Eden Prairie, my cul-de-sac. That's
Yes.
how we say that.
That's a wonderful
It's
thing.
such a regionalism. It's so specific.
A wonderful thing, no question about it. So, I have always liked William Shattner. I've interviewed him 8 billion times. He's always been a great. Invited me to his house once for Christmas. I didn't go, but he invited me.
You should have gone.
I should have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have.
Tom.
Yeah, that's like a story for, the books. If you go to his Christmas party.
By the way, he's pronounced my name now for about 35 years. Tom. He doesn't say Tom. He says Tom. Tom, how you doing, Tom? Tom. It's like, settle down, William. Hell of an actor, though. All the way back to, I believe he broke through on either Alfred Hitchcock or Twilight Zone or something like that.
Twilight Zone was the one where
Was it
he
Twilight
was
Zone?
in the airplane with the gremlin on the side.
that's right, the
on the
gremlin.
wing,
Yeah.
yeah.
The wing, yeah. Mhm.
And isn't he like 19 years old or something?
Super young in that,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
very young, yeah. God, could that have
Yeah.
been
Well,
70
check
years
him
ago?
out on Stars on Mars tonight. It is hilarious.
Don't
honestly.
tell me how to do it.
Delightfully unhinged is what I'm calling it. That is my review.
Kristen, sabotage the system.
Sabotage.
Sabotage. All right, so
Sabotage.
we will talk to you tomorrow. Is that the ticket?
That is the ticket. I will be back.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye. Oh, should I stop calling her that? Is it okay for a guy to call a woman dear?
Yeah, she actually identifies as deer. So
Well,
you're
she's a
fine.
very dear person, don't you think?
She's very deer-like, like scared of headlights and.
Not that kind of deer. You're a disaster. Spelled D-I-S.
Disaster. That's how we say it.
Disaster.
I'm going to
I wonder how
sabotage you.
I'm going to sabotage you in a disaster. Thank you. Thank you very much. We got to take a break here. Be right back in a couple minutes right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Do you ever Google yourself? Are you happy with what you find? Or is it cringy? Are you a business owner or on your company's marketing team? How do you feel when you Google your own place? What do you see? A non-updated social media page you don't even remember making? Ads for your competitors? Hubbard Interactive can help. They're a Google Premier partner, so they can use search engine optimization to get your click results higher. They've got a photo and video department to make your business look sharp, plus social media, influencer marketing, podcasting, and more. All the things that will make you a lot happier next time you Google yourself. Here's a Google search that you'll find rewarding. Hubbard Interactive. You can see all the marketing tools they've used on hundreds of successful businesses, including an extensive gallery of the great work they could help your venture with. HubbardInteractive.com. Building campaigns that connect.
Look at that.
Look at that. That was perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
That was wonderful.
I was going to in my head going, do I have to pretend to work while you're gone?
By the way, look at this.
What is that?
It's a Hello Happy, it's a gummy worm.
It's a daily gummy that we eat.
In the shape of Florida. Unless, of course, you hold it this way, then it looks like a dick.
Sure.
That's great.
Which is how I describe the way Florida looks.
Yeah.
Like a schwanz?
Like a sad peen.
It looks like a sad peen.
Huge penis.
It would be. Jesus.
Really glad we had this talk.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was just looking at our...
Feeling up the
I was looking at the name of it when we were
things.
looking for the thing. And then we have a fancy glass one.
Yes, I brought that from home. But that's empty now, isn't it?
No, I put a bunch in there. That
Oh,
were
you
loose.
did put a bunch in there.
Yeah.
But
These
they're
are the
not all
loose
stuck
ones.
together?
No, I've been eating these ones and you've been eating the chunky.
What a shock. I get the
You
garbage
even
one.
said, I'll just start picking at it. You were
I
so
will.
nice. I bought us gummies and I left it in my car for a day and they became one gummy.
One gummy.
One gummy to save the world.
About the size of a loaf of bread.
You just take a bump every day.
Now, these ain't like a THC?
No.
Okay, right.
No, they're just...
Yeah.
What is in them that makes you happy? I don't
know, but I knew it was a bad sign when he said, you need to take these every day.
Well, because you're always crabbier than hell. And by the way, it was Kristen that went, oh, that wasn't you.
I know it wasn't, but I didn't want to say
You didn't
anything.
throw her under the bus, so that was very nice of you to do that.
Thank you. I was like, because I like that story. I enjoy that story, and so I knew you were going to do it. And she saw your shoulders go up, and she went, oh, and I went,
So when
it's okay.
basically I'm going to find out Rudy's entire schedule, and then when he's on stage, I'm going to go, ah!
Actually, he loves that. He would love that. He works in stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I don't think you want people saying "och" and "ook" during your punchline. Probably not.
People say weird things. Like when you get, when people are laughing and responding, sometimes they'll go, ah.
Yeah. It happened like a month ago, right in my closer, having a lights out set, one of the best I've ever had, right in the closer. The first syllable comes out of my mouth for that closing punchline, and some lady went, ha, ha, ha! Thanks, ma'am.
But it's not her fault. She just thought something was funny that she kept thinking about.
Oh, I was killing me. I was like, really? I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm leaving now. Thanks, lady. Anyway, have a good night.
I feel like if your set is thrown off by loud laughing, we got to change your setup a little bit. Again, I know nothing about stand-up comedy. I've got a lot of opinions.
Did you ever have a booze hound go after you on stage?
I haven't had, luckily, no, but I've seen it happen.
Oh, me too.
Many times, yeah. Because usually, like, I'm pretty good about not going into the crowd and get, because what happens is something will happen and then comics will bring it up and then it gets attention called to it and then it just becomes a thing. If you just ignore it long enough, eventually people just stop because they're like, okay, I'm not getting to this person.
I could send Fitz to every one of your... If it starts happening, let me know, because I'll send Fitz, who's 6'5" and weighs about 330.
Just have him sit right on the edge of the stage,
And
arms
his voice
folded.
is like this, too. He's got one of these kind of voices. You know Fitz.
Yeah, you don't want Fitz you don't want to mess with Fitz.
Yeah, you don't want him pissed off.
You're going to be just fine shutting your mouth sitting next to that gentleman.
Well, again, it was Andy Kindler. A guy was sitting literally from me to Brittany. She's up on stage, so right there at Acme. You're right next to the
You're
stage.
a foot away.
You're not funny in the least. It's like, oh, God, really? Yeah, Andy Kindler, boy, he's not funny at all, sir. You're right, you drunk.
It's so funny how it's acceptable, and maybe because it's a rowdy environment, but people feel that it's acceptable to do that. But if you were at Orchestra Hall and you did not like something they're playing, so you're hitting a point where you go, this... Boo! You would never. You would never. You would just sit quietly, wait through a song you don't like. If a comedian said something you don't like, why do you feel emboldened? But I'm not enjoying this conversation. Just sit quietly, wait till the next topic comes up, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You ever been to the Kravis Center in West Palm Beach, either one of you?
Mm-mm.
It's this beautiful arena. Everybody comes there. They just had, like, Andrea Bocelli was there last year.
Wow.
A couple years ago, Dennis Miller was there. Okay? You ever seen Dennis Miller live?
Wild, man. Yeah, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good stand-up comedian. Yeah. Really, really good. But this guy, and there's like 5,000 people in this arena. Mm-hmm. It's a big, giant, like an opera house is what it is. But... this guy, for some reason, is that funny? The guy's chirping at him.
Oh.
So finally, after about 5 minutes of it, off and on, of course.
Yeah.
Dennis Miller on mic drops his head. He looks down at the floor and goes, "Sir, I am not capable of human interaction."
That's so funny.
It was phenomenal. And the guy shut up then. It was really good because the guy shut up.
Sir, I am not capable. I feel like we could say that, right?
We
On our,
should, yeah.
right? On our everyday
Absolutely.
life. Listen, there's not a microphone. It's not a safe space for me.
We're not. Yes, exactly. Oh, this is my fault. We were going to get to this about an hour ago. Is passenger train service between Twin Cities and Duluth really happening? So how close would that get to your hometown, your old hometown?
Duluth, about an hour and 10 minutes.
But I mean, the train going up there, would it have to go further up to get to where you're from?
Yeah, it would
That's
have
what
to.
I thought.
It would have to go past Duluth. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. And about how you said about an hour?
Hour 10, yeah.
Hour and 10. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, now again, I did this with my family like 40 years ago. Took them all up for Christmas. And the great thing about it is, and I hope it does happen again, that all the way up there you see Christmas lights and Christmas trees and all that stuff going up there.
So fun.
It's just beautiful. You know, maybe a little snow might be falling, whatever. You get up there. I love Duluth anyway. Just love that town.
Yeah.
Great town. Except that damn golf course is too hard. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And this did happen, and I'm not pulling your tit on this one. We're at the top of the hill, because part of the golf course is on top of the hill, and then they go down to the...
I can't even imagine where it is in Duluth. Will you give me an idea of where it is in Duluth?
What was that mansion again, though? The
Glen
Congdon
Sheen?
Glen Sheen. Yeah, there you go. It's right across the street from that, or if not right across the street, just a couple of blocks
Perfect.
away.
So kind of more on the east side of Duluth.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's over toward Wisconsin. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
You're absolutely right. No, I forgot what I was going to... What the
You're
hell was I
telling me
talking
about the hill. I'm sorry. I just wanted an idea
No,
where it was
I
at.
understand. But you're at the top of the hill, and it's magnificent. It's like 72 degrees up there, a little bit of sunshine. You're like, oh, my God, this is great. Then you have to go down the hill. It's probably about a 80 to 100-foot drop down the hill. You know, you wind down.
That sounds like a hard one.
And by the time you get to the bottom of the hill, it's like 52 degrees.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
know.
What? Yeah. What the hell happened?
My mom, because she'll spend Florida, she spends the winter in Florida, and then she'll always say, you guys are so lucky you get to wear layers. And I feel like we get to say that to Duluth year-round.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
so lucky you get to wear so many fun fashions all in one day.
Love that town.
Tank top to sweater to full-on wind jacket to, like,
That's true in Duluth.
big stocking hat. I mean, it can be so hot on the hill and freezing down by that lake.
The Scenic's still open, isn't it, on the way to Two Harbors? The Scenic Cafe. It used to be called the New Scenic.
I don't know.
Really good, man.
That's where Justin asked me to marry him, is over in Two Harbors on a hike.
Was he
in
drunk?
fall. He was wasted.
I knew it. Typical. Hey, we're going to get married.
He was so sober. We'd been so sober for so long at that point. So every time
there you go.
we talk about the worst mistakes he's made, he was very sober.
New Scenic Cafe opens 12 p.m. on Wednesday.
Love it.
Whoa.
Love it. So, it's still called the New Scenic?
The New Scenic
Because somebody told me they were going to drop the new part because it's been there for years. But I like New Scenic. That works for me.
When you're saying it was open, that's just its schedule. It's not just happens to be reopening or something, right?
No, they say, it's a New Scenic Cafe. That's the actual name of it. That's what the sign
No,
says.
but when you were saying the time, I thought you were going, wow, there's a reopening, but it's just that's the normal schedule.
Yeah, there's a
I was like, what a coincidence, this Wednesday.
The old one shut down, but the new one opens Wednesday.
I thought this
The
was
old
like...
one did shut down?
No. We're just
Oh,
kidding. Yeah.
okay, thank
but
God.
But that's
That place is great.
because the tourists all split on Monday and Tuesday. They don't start coming back until Wednesday, so
yeah,
that's why they open
that
up
makes
on Wednesday.
sense. No, and I just thought it was this huge coincidence that you found an article that it's ready to open this Wednesday when we're talking about it.
Tommy Boy, many years ago, went for a little... Catherine and I were up in Duluth just having a wonderful time. So I decided, she gets up a couple hours after I do, because that's when I was at the Q, so I was getting up at 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you're on vacation, you wake up at 4:30.
Yeah,
it's just
terrible.
how it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll just go for a long bike ride. No big deal. Now, you have to understand, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, what is it, the 20th? And in 2 weeks is the sunshiniest, early sunshine of the year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's like 5:30, 5:15 in the morning, and it's light out. So I figured I'll just go for a bike ride. Now, at 5:15 in the morning, nothing is open.
No.
Particularly on a Sunday. I'm riding along. I get all the way up there, get a flat tire. I literally had to walk it all the way back. It took me, honest to God, like 4 hours to walk back.
All right, don't
Like, Jesus.
Don't you get to a point if you're a hardcore biker that you have one of those tubes with you all the time?
Yeah, if you're big into it, well, I would have been smart for me to do that up there. I'll tell you that.
I just never have ever hit that point. And when I was biking a bunch when I lived in Minneapolis, it was always short distances here and there, and I figure I just never got to a point of going, I should carry that around. But I have been. I've gotten flats and either walked home or had somebody pick me up.
I hate it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I know.
Speaking of Duluth, the legislature just set aside $195 million for the route, but a few more things need to fall into place. Passenger train service between Twin Cities and Duluth. Is it really happening? Why do they need $200 million to get this to happen? Why?
It just seems, these numbers don't seem real at all.
They don't.
Well, California tried to build a high-speed rail from L.A. to San Francisco for $1 billion.
Yep.
They have spent $4 billion,
Yep.
and nothing has been made.
Well, it's like our system here with the light rail out in her
Eden Prairie. Oh, don't even get me started.
15, 20 years now they've been working.
Oh, don't even get me started. And then we found it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And it's got like the way they built it has the side of it has this like pattern to it, and it honestly they made that area look so much better with it. And how rare is that for you to say you've added a line of traffic in some aspect? It's so beautiful. And we found out after everything, they built that thing so quick in Eden Prairie, and then it's just connected to nothing. They go, oh, well, we'll connect it maybe 2027. We had some hiccups, so we're going to just wait. So I would just have this thing just sitting there. Eventually the raccoons will take over. Yeah. I'm fine with it. Whatever.
Well, do you think that one right there in the middle of Hopkins, that's a good look from 169, isn't it? A bridge to nowhere.
I know.
What the hell is that now? That's been sitting like that for years.
I was really banking on taking the light rail to Taylor Swift, and I don't think that's going to pan out for me.
Well, in 2029.
Yes. When she's doing her final tour is all good to go.
My retirement. Who is that Taylor Swift? I've never seen her. I heard she's really good, though.
I've seen her. Last tour was Reputation. I watched that. It was amazing. I'm so excited. I'm really excited for this one because it's just the first big concert I've gone to in a long time, and it just feels like we've been waiting for her to do this because she has 4 albums. And the vibe is going to be super fun.
Where's she playing?
U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh, she's playing U.S. Bank. Jesus.
And Rudy sent me a picture over the weekend of his daughter and his sister and their niece. They make friendship bracelets, and you trade them there.
Okay.
So you just make these out of beads and whatever. And so we did a bunch. Me and a bunch of neighbor girls were making them at my house. And it's just like this buildup is so fun. And I don't know, man. I'm so excited.
Oh, those shows are great. The last big one I went to, not as big as U.S. Bank Stadium, but it was at XL Energy Center.
Yeah.
I saw Adele there.
Oh.
Yeah. Holy God, can that woman sing?
And I heard her.
She likes to drink, smoke, and swear,
I was just gonna say, I heard her in between the songs is magnificent.
Oh, it is. It's phenomenal. You know, you sons of bitches. I mean, hey, leave me alone.
Siri, mind your business.
I hate that. Why did your watch do that?
She's one nosy bitch.
I agree.
I saw Chappelle at First Avenue, and it was chain smoking. Like he never didn't have a cigarette. It was constant. And it was just wild because, you go to so many First Ave concerts and nobody can smoke, but he's up there just one right after the other. And this was like 2017 or something.
I saw him at the Varsity a couple months back, and he was chain smoking.
Yeah.
Was he still?
Yeah.
Boy, that's not good.
And I sat front row, and he took one of his cigarettes, and he put it out with his foot, and after the show, they have like a line of security at the stage. And I asked the security guard, I'm like, hey, man, can you turn around, grab that cigarette butt for me?
No, you didn't.
I swear to God. And the guy went to go reach for it, and the head of security was like, hey, no. I was like, what's the difference?
What were you going to do with it, Rudy?
It's a cigarette.
I was going to put it in a little glass case and stick it on my mantle.
Are so weird.
No.
That is weird. Yes, is that weird or not?
No.
If you could say, I've got Chappelle's butt in a jar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
I don't know.
And it's weird that security cared, too. Like, there's so many, this is garbage.
Yeah.
We are talking about literal garbage.
I'm telling you, that's a perfect example. And you match it up with this phony deal with Will Smith and Chris Rock.
You still think that's
You couldn't
fake?
even get a cigarette butt, but somehow he could just wander up on stage and punch somebody.
You still think that's fake,
That
don't
was
you?
all fake.
I don't think that's fake.
I do. It was 100% fake. Nobody got hurt, and he full on punched his ass, or did he slap him?
He slapped him, but
He slapped him.
I mean,
Head slap, though.
and Will Smith has got some boxing background doing
Yep,
Ali,
yep.
and he's a fighter, you know.
Yep. I still think that was all bullshit.
I know
really
you do. I for a while, I feel like me and Kristen had you convinced that it wasn't. But
Well, he didn't even duck.
I think it was just shock, man. The things that happen. If somebody,
If a guy's coming at you and he raises his hand, you got to duck, don't you?
I mean, I don't know. I would think so, but I when that's one of your idols, one of your best friends, and well, maybe they weren't best friends.
Well, they were pretty good friends at
Yeah.
one time, yeah.
I don't think you think that person's gonna strike you.
You ever been sucker punched?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You have too?
Oh yeah.
By me?
No, right?
I hope
you
not.
did just punch me in the back, but it felt okay.
Didn't a dude punch you?
Yeah, a guy punched me. Yeah, at the
Where?
library.
The library.
No, the library.
Oh, I was going to say.
In
you get
Dinkytown.
Punched at the
I was
library.
arguing with his girlfriend. I don't even know what it
And
was
he
about.
punched you.
And he was behind her and just punched me.
In the face.
Yeah, I was black. I mean, I went, everything went foomp, and then like slowly came back. And I was like, we gotta go. My friends are like,
You whip
one
his
more
ass?
drink? And I was like, I gotta go.
You should have beat him up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
should've.
Step one.
You could take most guys.
Roid
that I
it
know.
out. I don't know. Like,
Oh, he was roided out?
No, I'm saying, how am I gonna beat up a
You could
man
beat up
my
most
age?
men.
I could. In my mind, I could, but when actuality comes down,
No, I think you could.
oh my God, it was terrible. And I was not by any means full. My sensories were not at 100%. I was wasted. And thank God I was wasted, because I bet that hurt.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
woke
see it
up with
coming?
no, because he was behind her. I woke up kind of like, a little staggered to the right, and he just went behind. Went, boom. I woke up with a huge black eye. And I had to go to this weird, my mom was hosting this like ladies who lunch brunch thing. It was like springy vibe. We had hats and everything. I had to show up there. My mom, every time I was like, I fell down these little risers, these little stairs I was going down. She was like, don't talk to me. Go in the other room. Every time I was in a room with her, she's like, go in the other room. And I was like, yes, mother.
There is kind of a part of me now, I know this is going to sound terrible, but there's a part of me now that wishes that the girl you were arguing with, that guy ended up putting one on her one night. Like, didn't you see this coming?
I'm sure.
Yeah. I hope that
if he could hit a stranger,
yes, that's what
I'm
I'm saying.
sure. And that's why
Yes.
you go, oh, that's a scary guy.
Yeah.
Thank God our lives were just passing ships in the night that he just got a good swing in. But, he's for sure hitting women. I mean.
Yeah.
I've told you before, I've got 100% proof I've never hit Catherine.
Yeah.
Because I'm still alive.
I think it's that pulse you still have in your neck.
I still have a pulse, so I
You're
know
not
that I've never.
bleeding out in the.
Oh God, never fall asleep, Tom.
I had a boyfriend once. Gosh, we were both not in a great stage of our lives, but I remember I was talking, and to intimidate me, he punched the wall right in front of me.
Oh God.
And I was like, okay, as soon as he's gonna leave, like, do I plan his like absolute death? I mean, I never talk to him again. But it was one of those moments I was like, oh, this turns into something more. It felt so obvious.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's testing the waters. And I
So
would
you think he
boyfriend's a
would've hit
Larry.
you?
Oh, for sure.
Good God.
Eventually,
what is
I mean,
that?
I think that was one of the things I was like, okay, that's your intimidation. I've never, and this is early on in my dating, so I don't even know if I could call him boyfriend formally, but he was like, we were arguing, whatever, and it was about 4 inches from my face, punched the wall. So he's like willing to hurt himself to prove a point, and I was standing there, and my mind was, don't show any weakness. Of course, I was back.
Right.
I was like, acted like it was no big deal. He left, locked that door. I was like, I will never talk to that person ever
And
again.
did you?
Never.
Good move.
No. Oh my God.
Good move.
Oh my God. No, never.
If you go back and watch the YouTube episode, you can see that when we bring these up, I get super squirmy.
Yeah.
Because I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
this so much when I was growing up. I've watched a family member of mine, him and his wife, get in a fist fight in our front yard. And the whole time they were throwing punches at each other, he was saying, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Okay.
I'm sorry to laugh.
Okay.
It was like the funniest thing I've ever seen, but at the same, I mean, they were
That's
throwing
insane.
haymakers at each other, a husband and wife.
That's insane.
It blew my mind that I was watching this, and one of my best friends was with me. We were like 17, 8 years. And he's like,
I'm only laughing because it's so inappropriately crazy. Why are you saying some catchphrase as you try to punch your wife in the face?
Yeah. He goes, should we stop this? I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, we were 17, 18 years old. These were people in like their upper 30s, low 40s, and just throwing fists at each other.
I mean, it's wild. You look back, you can tell. I mean, it's one of those things where if you're lucky enough where those abusive men, they don't just start by, I'm going to punch you in the face. It's like a testing, feeling it out. I mean, I dated a guy who was just, we were in an argument and just started driving insane on the highway. And I look back and go, oh, he was testing me. Yeah. Oh, he was testing that if I'll take this in, a couple of weeks when next fight, he's going to next level it. It's always that way. It's such a slippery slope, too. And if it's done well, and that's why I go, any women who are in abusive relationships, they're not idiots. It's something that can happen to anybody. Sure. It's this little, like, I'm testing you. I'm going to get kind of verbal, maybe throw your stuff, maybe throw my stuff, things like that. And then you just get there,
I don't understand how you hit somebody a lot smaller than you anyway. I've never understood that. Yeah. Why would I want to punch somebody who's a lot smaller than me?
Because punching somebody who's bigger is a bad idea, too.
Oh, it's a lot of fun, man. You can rock out.
It's wild how when your life gets so much calmer and the things I would never deal with, and back then you go, But I'm so lucky that most of the time I was like, oh, hell no, you're crazier than me. Jeez. Get out. Like, once I get out of this car, I'm never getting back in this car again.
I really don't understand that. Hitting little kids and hitting women and hitting, it's like, what are you doing?
I know.
Like, Jesus, pal. But, Rudy said, I saw a lot of it when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why I'm so sensitive to it.
Sure.
Because there was that one neighbor I told you about before. He used to take his kids in the middle of the street and beat the piss out of them so everybody could watch. It's like, thanks, Dad. I feel really great about that.
That's so sad.
How sick is that? Not only am I going to kick your ass, I'm going to do it in front of everybody and embarrass the piss out of you.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
It's again, these are one of those conversations we go, hopefully our brains don't allow us to understand it.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It just calm down and relax.
I don't know if that works.
Calming down and relax.
Just telling people to calm down and relax. Yeah. I don't know if that's ever worked in the history of ever.
Well, you could do the Christopher Walken thing. Calm down, or I will do some damage you won't walk away from. That's a better way to go about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work, but I say we try it next time one of us gets hypey.
By the way, I wasn't even trying to do an impression of him because, Craig Gass nails it. He nails that impression.
Yes, he does.
Better than anybody.
Yes, he does.
The Christopher Walken coming out of Craig Gass's yapper.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's good.
U.S. Representative Jim Oberstar gathered a small group in his Chisholm office in 2002 to discuss plans for passenger rail service between Duluth and the Twin Cities. Why did they ever stop it? Because they used to have it like back in the 1970s, I guess it would have been.
Okay, so in this world that we currently live in, there is, if it already existed, there's already tracks going straight there, right? So why is it so crazy and expensive to get this going again?
Well, here you go. Northern Lights Express, NLX, expected to make 4 daily trips, hinges on securing $800 million in federal funding and the cooperation of railroad owner BNSF Railway and likely Amtrak. Is this ever going to happen? That's a lot of hoops to jump through, man.
Yeah.
Well, one nice thing about Minnesota is that compared to other states, I feel like we do get things done.
I hope so.
Yeah, when it comes to projects like this, even the stuff we don't want, I feel like we get it done,
Well, Minnesota leaders can spend our money better than any other state in the United States, man. They can spend some money. Mm-hmm. Jesus.
And normally, I'd say besides this Eden Prairie Light Rail little hiccup, I'm going to call it that because I'm being nice, but remember when they were building it through St. Paul and University? They were they were going that was happening, and
well, Minneapolis was like, we got to get this crime out of here somehow, so let's build a fast track all the way to St. Paul.
In a pretty bow.
And that's exactly what happened because Lower Town St. Paul is not what it used to be.
And it was not great in the first place.
I was going to say, I don't have these memories running around Lower Town.
I loved it, though. I did love it.
It was beautiful. And honestly, when there's events there, it's gorgeous, and there's a lot. But for some reason, there's some disconnect that's never made it, hopping.
Yeah.
Like downtown Minneapolis, when I was in my 20s, that was you walk around at 2 a.m. after bar closed. There's people everywhere. Felt super fun and, safe. And I wouldn't say that it falls in that realm now, but it did when I was in my 20s. And Lower Town we never seemed, maybe it's spread out too much or something. I don't know.
What about the Blue Saloon? Is that still open? God, I used to go to the Blue Saloon all the time down there. And it had a very narrow stair. So you guys have never been there?
No.
There's a performance room up on the second floor. There's a bar on the first floor, and then there's places for bands. And I don't think they ever had comedians. Maybe they did have comedians here. I don't know. But it was called the Blue Saloon.
On Rice Street.
Yeah.
On Rice Street.
Yeah, still there.
Oh, thank God. There is a very, very narrow stairway to go up to the second floor from the first floor. And I brought a friend of mine over there who was a dazzling suburbanite. And I said, you just kind of have to keep to yourself a little bit. I mean, you could talk to people and be nice to people, but don't get too overly talkative because people don't like that. You know? Like certain inner city people don't like that. So we're going up the stairs, and this very large man is coming down the stairs. And I look at my friend, and just as because we had to turn sideways to get by each other, right?
Yeah,
you had to turn your shoulder sideways to get by one another. And as he's going in front of this very large man, he said, "Thanks, my brother." I went, "Oh, God, no." This guy looked at me and said, "You better tell this son bitch to get the hell away from me." I said, "I got it, pal. I'll get him out of here today." Because for some reason, I didn't know the guy, but I must have had that look on my face like, "Oh, God, I wish you hadn't said that." The guy wanted to just kick his ass. And I'm like, "Okay,
Really?
Settle down. Everything will be good. Don't worry about it." We have to take a break. We already took a break, didn't we?
We did not. We got to take one here.
I just wanted to make sure because I keep forgetting. Because when Chris Egert's coming on, I'm so dazzled by the
So
stardom.
excited. It's like he's almost like he's wearing a blazer of some sort over a T-shirt, ready to work.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Okay. So we'll take a break, and we will be right back with the lovely and talented Chris Egert.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
There's a guy named Tom Cross who likes to do kite things. Tom takes the phrase, "go fly a kite," to an extreme, and for years goes all over the country in search of great kite flying events. Lincoln City, Oregon comes to mind, with Chinook winds and 7 miles of pristine beach that draws folks from all over North America for the best kite flying conditions in the world. Tom brings a little Minnesota with him when he goes to Lincoln City in his new Forest River RV Rockwood Roo, 19 expandable trailer, of course, that he hauls from Niemeyer Trailer Sales in Albertville and Elko Newmarket, Minnesota. Niemeyer Trailer Sales is the only place Tom would prepare his next kite flight. Solar panels, full bath, exterior griddle, double-door refrigerator, queen beds, and sleeps 6 every night in the RV Rockwood from the place that is your family-owned guide to RV trailers and truck accessories since 1965. This is Tom. Visit my friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales and take your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Go to NIEMEYERS.com. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, all dolled up and no place to go. Here's Chris Egert.
Oh, I'm not dolled up. I'm sorry. This jacket t-shirt thing looks stupid, but Megan and I have like the same exact shirt on today, so I had to change clothes.
You look very Vice. That's all I'm going to say. Like
Miami Vice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
roll the sleeves up.
Is it bad? Because I'll use you guys as a focus group because
No, it looks good.
Step back. Let me look at the whole outfit. Let me see.
They got the Minnesota, the Orr thing going on here.
You're right. That looks like shit.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
It's fine. Just kidding. It looks like you're having heart surgery, though, because there's a big X right over your heart.
It feels like you woke up somewhere and acquired a jacket. That's all I'm gonna say. Like it doesn't.
I agree.
Hungover.
I agree. It does look like that. I'm gonna. So what's gonna happen is if anybody after your show's over, of course, if they happen to catch our show on the website. If you're wondering why I look like I have an old woman blouse on, it'll be. And Megan and I will look like Walt Disney vomited all over your television screen. So that'll be interesting.
How was the graduation party?
It was good, Rudy. It was awesome to be able to hang with you for a little bit.
Yeah, your son what a remarkable young man he is.
Well, I'm not sure about all that, but
I like that you talk shit about your kids because I do it too. I love it.
Was Dakota exhausted at the end of the day because it's just so many people?
It's fun. He was fine. It was my daughter who was the one. She was funny. She was like, I had to go through all the graduation stuff, and I didn't even get any cards with any money.
Oh, there you go.
I got to Chris's house though, and there was like a relative that was just like camping on the couch, and I'm like, "What's up with the person inside?" And Chris is like, "There's so many people here. I have no idea."
What do you want from me? I'm working every room. I'm exhausted.
Did you get an invitation? Because I didn't.
I kind of invited me and Rudy invited ourselves.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I had to work at My Talk, so I didn't get done until the party was almost over. So I didn't head over. But again, Chris was a little intimidated to send you an invite.
Why?
He just,
You're stupid. No.
Well, and then there's the rejection too.
That's painful.
I would have come.
Well, I didn't want you. You should not have to feel obligated.
I didn't feel. I've known you for how many years now? At least 6, 7 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
I am not gonna. I must have a bad reputation.
No.
I understand where Chris is coming from. For a while, I found myself being like, "This is too silly to invite Tom." But now I invite you to anything because why not?
Because I never come anyway.
I'd say you come 50-50. Or you send Alex in your place with a big check.
Although when I signed the card over to Dakota, it said, "Dakota, congratulations. By the way, I'm paying for all of your college. Signed, Tom Bernard."
There you go. That's absolutely right.
That was very generous of you, Tommy. Thank you.
I'm glad you just brought that up because I wanted to ask Chris this anyway, and this is a nice segue. Many, many, many people, like around Brittany's age, are not going to college or didn't go to college anymore. They're finding they can go to trade schools and make more money than if they went to college.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you guys knew about this?
Oh, yeah. One of my best friends from high school, Bob, everybody was going to college. Bob's like, "I'm going to go out and be an electrician."
Right.
And he went out, became an electrician. By the time he was 23, he was a half partner in a company that he had moved to North Dakota for. He sold that company, started another electrician's business, and then on top of that, bought 2 businesses in Fargo from the money that he made being an electrician.
That's amazing.
Yes, yeah.
There was a guy like that on national television, almost the same story, that he said, I went, and don't you go for like 18 months or something?
Electrician, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
It's 2 years,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Because some of them are 18 months, some are 2 years, all the rest of it. They make a ton of money coming out because nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
So, and they will be now, of course, when they find out they don't have to go for 4 years and get hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And I still want to ask a question. There's $2 trillion in college debt. Well, it's not my debt. I didn't go to college. Why should I pay for your college? Right? I mean, it's a ridiculous position. Why should we pay for someone else's college?
No. I hear you. There's like institutional problems with the whole situation. And
absolutely.
And there has to be something figured out where, I mean, if you look at the rising cost of college, my mom always talks about, well, I used to work all summer to pay for my college. I go, Mom, that's not, unless I get like $100,000 casual summer job.
Yeah.
What
well,
are you talking? I don't think lifeguarding pays that much anymore, Mom.
Your mother and I are about the same age, right?
Yeah, well, she would be irate if I said that because she was.
So don't say.
No, she's 67.
That's my IQ. So we just matched right up.
But as a woman,
she doesn't even laugh at that. She just goes, "Yeah, I know."
I agree.
You have this I know look on your face.
Well, I used to be 92, so has it gone down?
Yes, absolutely, it has. From working there, as a matter of fact, that's why it went down. But no, in 1969, I guess it would have been, I tried to go to college. I went to one class one time and quit. And it was only, I believe, I don't know if it was a semester, the whole damn year, was like $900. And that's now, I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
That's probably 1 hour in the classroom.
I know.
That's about it now. Yeah, exactly. Now, our college system is deeply damaged right now. I mean, you got some of these. First of all, stop shoving your personal politics and views on my kid. Why don't you just teach a class and shut the hell up? How about that? Right?
I think that there's a lot of that goes on, and I also think that academia is very good at making sure other academia is supported, and I think it's a whole, it's a good job to get. They get paid pretty well. I definitely think I'm not an expert at it, but I definitely think that there's things that could be looked at there, because the amount that people are paying is pretty ridiculous. And I feel like there's most of these institutions are very top heavy.
What's the number again that Harvard has in the bank? And this is cash in the bank. It's billions of dollars, and nobody cares. Why aren't you using that billions of dollars to educate people who might need your help? Why do we have to help them when you got all that money, right?
Yeah, that's exactly the point. So
yeah, I want to somebody check out, or I'll check it out. How many billions of dollars Harvard has?
Okay, the endowment, right? We're talking about endowment.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah,
because Harvard University with a $50.9 billion endowment as of 2022.
$51 billion.
Good God.
Okay, come on. Kick in some dough, Brittany. Let's go.
It's relatable.
It's all about money. I don't care if it's big business, big college, big whatever. It's all about money. Doesn't that suck? That's terrible. What are you going to do? Anyway, so what else is happening in the news? Any good stuff?
Nothing. Well, we got the air quality supposed to be kind of funky again today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Although I don't know if you noticed when you guys were on your way in this morning, if it's still kind of hazy and stuff. I think that's supposed to ease as the day goes on, and it's actually supposed to get kind of like more pleasant in the middle of the week instead of being sort of miserable hot like it is right now. But no rain in the forecast, and it's starting to look like we're falling into that same pattern that we did last year when things started out really wet in the spring, and then the summer just got really ridiculously dry. So what a drag for all the farmers. I mean, it's just the way it's setting up. It's just not, I mean, that can change, but Ken was talking about it this morning quite a bit that
I saw it. I was watching you this morning.
Topsoil. Oh, you were? Okay. The topsoil's already really dried out. Think of how much snow we had on the ground like 2 months ago.
Oh, right? I know.
So that's going to be more of a concern. I think that's going to be something you're going to be hearing more and more about here.
Well, I got to be honest. I was watching your news, but then when you came on, I turned it off.
That's fair. That's fine. I get it.
That picture of the sun you guys showed, that was beautiful because it's muted by all the, heavy air and the
that
whatever the hell it
particulate stuff does make the sunrises and the moon and all that look pretty cool.
It's beautiful. It's like, well, we're being poisoned, but it looks nice.
I was thinking about that, in future world, the sunrises and sunsets will be all kinds of crazy colors.
I guess it will. There's no question about it. You did hear that I'm a trippo now. I'm a hippie now. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Tommy's driving a 100% electric Mustang now.
I just saw that on Facebook when
Mr.
I
Hippie.
logged in an hour ago. Look at you.
It's my third electric car because I owned the first Tesla in Minnesota history back in 2005, I think it was. Loved it, but it did that bricking thing, so I got rid of it. And then I got a Cadillac ELR, which was, both electric and gas. And then I just couldn't. Doug Sprinthal spotted this for me, this new job over at Flagship Ford over in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Went over there. By the way, huge fans of yours and the morning show. So that's very, very nice.
Well, I guess I'll know where I'll try to find my next car deal.
Well, and literally, it's about a 20, 25-minute drive from East St. Paul. From where you are, it's probably a half hour.
Plus, I can get fireworks while I'm over there.
I went by at least 15 fireworks warehouses. Honest to God, they are everywhere, which is kind of cool. But no, that car's comfortable. It's one thing. A guy tried to blow past me on 100 this morning. Not in an electric car, pal. I blew by him so fast he didn't even see me coming. He's one of those deals. He accelerated so he could beat me to the whatever. I'm trying to get on the highway. He's already on the highway, but he's being a prick by trying to get in front of me. Yep. So we showed him a little speed. You know what I'm saying?
There's like
those things. Oh, go ahead, Rudy.
I was gonna say there's like great compilation videos of guys who own vehicles like that who like take their grandmothers out and put them in the passenger seat, and they're like, "You ready, Grandma?" And they're like, "Yeah, for what?" And then they just hit the gas, and Grandma's like, just freaking out. Oh, they're great videos. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I could see that. I would be scared. I'll tell you that. Holy Christ, those things move. But no, it's really nice. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is last week I did Joe Souchere's show. Came over to your building over there and did the show and all the rest of it. So I want to get all 4 of them on this show at the same time. So I don't know how we coordinate that or whatever, but there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 4 other chairs in here, so we could do it. Those guys, all 4 of them, they were on the show at the time, could not have been nicer. It was just a ball to be back in the building because I loved that building from the time I told the story on Joe's show. Well, the first time I walked in that building, I was 18 years old. And I said, what the hell am I doing in this building? This is way too nice for me.
I still feel that way. To this day, I walk around
really?
And someone will say hi to me and I'll be like, I know I shouldn't be here. I like show them my little pass. I'm sorry. Please don't kick me out.
It is the best. No question about it. But yeah, it was really, really nice. But I want to have them on. But it'd be kind of great if, although they're not going to be here at 8:30 in the morning. It's not going to happen. Sorry. I was going to say, they should be here while you're here. But it's like, nope, they'll be here probably in that 9 o'clock hour, I suppose.
Hey, that's fair. I get it.
I want to get it done now. But he picked, Rookie's been with him forever. Those guys have all been together for a long, long time.
Yep.
Just really, really nice. Joe couldn't have been better. He just very gracious. It's nice to work with a company like that where everybody's really nice to you. I'm not used to it. Not used to it.
The last time I saw Kenny in person, we were sitting over by the parking garage, and chatting it up for several minutes too long because my back end of my car was still in the parking garage, and the door came down and like completely busted out my back window.
What?
Oh no!
Wow. So bad. Kenny and I are like sitting there. He's like hanging in my window. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, I hear this thud, and like immediately my back window just blew apart. And I looked at Kenny, and I just shook my head. I'm like, Jesus H. Oh my God.
Oh, that's terrible.
Jesus H, baby.
Do you know what the worst is when something like that happens and you have to go show your partner and explain to them what happened? That's the worst feeling ever. Like I was being an idiot, and now we have to pay for this.
It was like this far too into the garage. Like I had just didn't quite clear it.
Oh. That's not
That's
good.
My garage logic memory right now.
Your garage logic memory.
Garage illogic.
We had some great conversations, though, because he talked about in 1987 he got mad at me because I was complimenting the Star Tribune on their great coverage of the World Series, and he, of course, worked at the Pioneer Press. So he got really pissed off at me, and we were talking about that and laughing our asses off about that son of a bitch Barnard over there. It was just fantastic. But no, and thank you again to Joe Souchere and everybody on that show. Just a ball. I had a great time, but I want to bring them in here, and I don't know how do you tee that up? Who do you talk to?
I'll work on it. I text with Ricky, so I can send.
This will be a disaster.
They'll be coming in staggered, different days. They're on different shows. It's a real Brittany production here.
They've got a great sense of humor, I'll tell you that. But no, it's not. Look, I could just go work somewhere else or whatever. But the one place that I thought about coming back to was Hubbard, man. And there was Dan, and then Ginny and Dan came, and we had a little lunch, and it was decided, God, almost a year ago now. We're coming up on a year because July is when I found out they were going to fire me. So we're or ask me to leave. I love that. You don't get fired. They just ask you to leave.
I just remember it was a day before I had Go-Go. I'd stopped over at your place because I was trying to get my car seat installed by your daughter, Alex, because I was terrified.
Yep.
And you were like, so, Brittany, what do you think of Hubbard? I was like, bitch, I don't know. I'm having a baby in like a day. I remember you were trying to talk business, and I ended up having the baby like 18 hours later. But I just remember you were like, tell me everything about Hubbard. And I was like, it's not going to happen right now.
Why not?
I was the most pregnant a human could be.
I don't care about your pregnancy.
Obviously.
No, it turned out to be a great move. No question about it. And it's... I had 5 guys come up to me over the weekend and say, hey, I heard you on Garage Logic. We're listening to your show now. And so it worked, man.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's perfect. Yeah, we'll have to have him on. That'd be so fun.
Oh, yeah. We talked about everything over there.
It was I loved the episode. I listened to it.
Oh, you listened to the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. It was great.
I did get a little teared up there when you were talking about Vince Flynn for a second.
Yeah.
Because Joe was a big friend of his as well. Joe was the first guy that ever interviewed him on the radio, I believe. I didn't know that because, I got to know Vince through the Nanny family and Frank and Amelia. That's how I met Vince Flynn. And I do miss that man, I'll tell you that. Great family, but Vince, did you ever get to know Vince at all?
Mm-mm. No.
God, what a great guy. And I wasn't there, unfortunately. Marty Nanny was there, but some guy apparently decided to chirp at Vince a little bit. You don't want to do that to Vince Flynn. Hey, how you feeling laying on your back in the street right now, sir? You'd like to pick on Vince again, would you?
He's like, not now, maybe later.
Yeah, maybe
Taking
later.
a break.
Yeah, that, I guess I wasn't there, like I said, but I guess it wasn't much of a match. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, apparently the guy just pushed him and then tried to take a swing at him, and that was not a good idea. Well, he's trained with the CIA, first of all.
Right.
Vince Flynn used to train with special forces and the CIA and the FBI. I mean, he used to... Well, not the FBI. He didn't like the FBI. Never mind. But, yeah, you better make better choices, sir. First of all, he was about 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Probably weighed about 220, so it's a pretty good start of being a gigantic human being. But I don't know why people do things like that. They just come out of a bar and they're drunk. Is that what that's all about?
I mean, probably, but
Yeah.
you got to be careful. Like, listen, and even looking at, it's hard to size people up, too. Like, in the whole, like, let's get in a fight after the bar thing. It's just not a good idea to do it at all, but particularly not Vince Flynn, apparently.
I will tell you, I had a classmate when I was at St. Joseph's. When I was a kid, his first name was Bobby. I won't say his last name, but loved the family. They were great people. Bobby, at the time, was probably about 5'2", something like that. He never got very big. He was about 5'2", probably weighed about 160 pounds. And you know what he used to do? It was brilliant. He would fight someone and keep fighting them until they got really tired, and then he'd beat the piss out of them.
That's
a good
Rocky's
move,
move,
don't you
man.
think? That's what's
Every
that?
Rocky movie. That's
Yeah,
Rocky's move.
that's true.
Every single Rocky movie.
You're right. It is. You're right. But Bobby would just take punches. He'd roll around. He'd do whatever. And then as soon as the other guy got tired, man, that guy got his ass kicked every time. Pretty smart.
That's why he just worked on his cardio constantly.
Working on the cardio, baby. Bobby, I miss you. Great guy. Great family, actually. The whole family is nice people. You know what I'm saying. So, such is life. So we got the longest day of the year coming up in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Was it June 19th? Is that when it is? Somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think the 20th,
Yeah.
right?
19th or 20th.
Yeah, one of the two. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it is pretty amazing, though, when I look, and Catherine and I are watching, well, last night we watched a couple of different things, but I'm looking outside. It's 5 after 9, and it's still light out. I'm like, whoa. Then I get up this morning, and it's light out at like 5 o'clock.
It's amazing.
A lot of sunlight in the summer here, man. I love that about Minnesota. Minnesota's weather in the summertime, I know it can get humid as hell, but great weather.
Beautiful.
Don't you think?
Yeah. It's
Great
gorgeous.
stuff.
Yeah. Very hard to beat that.
Indeed. Any other big stories we should know about coming your way?
Well, the one thing I was going to bring up, I'm not a real big tech guy, but apparently Apple's supposed to be releasing some new stuff later on today. And apparently they're announcing one of those virtual reality headset things.
Yeah.
And Have you guys heard how much they're talking about for this thing?
No.
How much it's supposed to cost?
No.
$3,000.
Apple, shame on you.
What was the
Tim
Oculus?
Cook, baby.
We have an Oculus, but I feel like it must not have been much, right? The Oculus is like
octopus.
No.
Pronounce it right.
octopus. Where's the
there you
Octopus Oculus? It must be like 200.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think they're $299.
Yeah.
That's the high end of them. Yeah.
$3,000.
Dumb.
3Gs for what is that? Just the goggles or headset or whatever it is?
Yeah, virtual reality thing. And since I think Apple doesn't do things half-assed generally. They usually, when they unveil something, they must think it's pretty good. They must think this is really good for $3,000 because I'd say 2 of our 3 cars are barely worth $3,000, let alone a frickin' pair of glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you guys ever done them before? Have you ever done the Oculus?
No.
Yeah, we have one. We play it. I mean, I played it constantly for a while.
I had to do a stand-up show with a VR. Like, it was a VR room with other people that were...
No way!
Really? I got sick.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
My husband gets sick, too.
Can't do it. I get motion sickness. I can't ride in cars. I can't do back
The only
seats.
thing he can do in Oculus is there's a really, steady golf game he can play on that one. But he can't do any, of the... There's... anything.
Motion sickness.
No.
I hate it, yeah.
Oh, no, thank you. Yeah. I'm the same way, riding in the back seat of a car.
Yeah.
Except I can do it now, but I couldn't when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. What does happen? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I did read something where your brain, since you are moving so fast and you are not in control of it, that's why you can drive a car, but to sit passenger gets you sick because your brain is like, we're moving at this speed that we're used to doing it, but we're not in control, and your brain has a hard time balancing itself out, and that's where the motion sickness comes from.
Ish, I hate that.
Yeah.
My mother one time, I was 15 years old, went out and got hammered with my buddies, and I mean hammered. 15 years old, she goes, we're going up to Long Prairie to see my mother tomorrow, so you're going to be riding in the back seat. I was so sick, I thought I was going to die. Gross. Oh, my God, was I sick. Never again is all I have to say.
That'll learn you.
All right, Mr. Egert, you got to come in the studio again one of these days. Quit your other job.
Listen, I'm working on it every day.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Bye, Chris.
Thanks a lot. Chris Egert, ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. We'll take a break here. Got a very special guest, Joey McIntyre, coming up next. I've got to say I'm feeling fantastic, and I am. I'm very serious about that. As you may have heard, I've been following the fat loss program at mnfatloss.com, and I've lost right now about 26 pounds, I guess it would be, so far. I've been following the program for, about 7 weeks, I think. And I can tell you it feels great to be going into summer, having lost the weight in just a few weeks' time. You'll absolutely be able to lose weight like I've done and still enjoy the foods you love this summer. I want to say something very quickly here, and right here. I don't worry about it. In other diets, when you go on them, you just got to stay after it. I got to stay after it. I have responsibilities to take people, clients to dinner and things like that, which I always worried about. But on this plan, I don't worry about, because even if I stay at an even weight for a few days to work that back off, it does not affect the overall outcome, which is a huge part of this for me. It really is working for me. I'm eating my favorite grilled steak and chicken along with fresh vegetables, berries, drinking lots of water. No wonder I feel great. Absolutely. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, like I've done, it's about a pound of fat every day, as a matter of fact. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That is mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss that Tom Barnard sent you.
Didn't I see you crying?
Yes, because I have to work with you. That's why I'm crying.
Every break.
I'm working with Brittany.
Every break, you just pull your chair back a little, full on weep.
I do. It's all true. No doubt about it. Let me know when Joey's ready to go. If you would, I'd appreciate that immensely. So what do you got planned for the rest of the day, sister?
Oh, my God, I'm so excited. So Beverly, my mom is watching the baby right now, and when she gets up from her nap, we're going to go to Shields and Dick's Sporting Goods. We've got a whole bunch of shopping to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go do that, and it'll be so fun. I love when my mom comes into town. I love it. I get so excited. I love that we're going to hang out after work. I'm so excited.
Yeah, bring up mothers. I lost mine already, but don't worry about my feelings.
Yeah, because that's what I was doing.
My mother perished.
Trying to hurt your feelings, trying to weaponize my love of my mother.
Perished, I say.
What are you doing the rest of the day?
I'm doing the family podcast, and I have a lunch with Michael Bryant, my attorney, and then I have to go over to, I can't say where the other place I'm going, but I got to do that. Yeah, I got stuff to do all day long.
And your new car. Is it kind of fun to be rolling around in that? Like, does it make things a little more exciting right now?
It's very, very comfortable, very fast, it's very nice.
That's awesome.
It really is. I mean, it's not as nice as Joey McIntyre, but, you know,
obviously.
Pretty close. What do you think, Joey?
What's the car you're talking about?
It's a Mustang, 100% electric Mustang. It's kind of an SUV, Joey.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the same kind, right? They've made it for a couple of years now, that model?
I think so. I think you're right about that. This is, I don't even know. I think.
You're that cool, you don't even know. Are you talking about your car? Or are you like, I don't know. It's a thing. I don't know. I get in, it takes me where I got to go.
You know, Joey, you just nailed me right there. Where do you live? Over there. What do you drive? Over there. Who cares? As long as I'm still alive, I don't care. Whatever.
And we love you for it. We love you for it. Don't change.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mini tour and new Lifetime series, July 14th, Minneapolis at the Varsity Theater. For a full list of dates, just go to joeymcintyre.com. That's joeymcintyre.com. Solo Joe, the summer tour of 2023. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Due to demand, new shows have been added. What do you think of that action?
Yeah. Well, that was the voiceover that I was looking for, man.
All right, good. I'll have him send it to you.
All that matters is my Minneapolis show. Honestly, I love Minnie for a lot of obvious reasons, but we have great fans. New kids have amazing fans there, and I'm looking forward to coming up.
So where are you from, Joey?
I'm from Boston.
I knew it.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, Joey.
Tom Barnard.
Tom Barnard. I was just in Boston a short time. You know what I love about Boston? And I'm very serious about it. First of all, I love the city. It's a beautiful city anyway. Got great people, all the rest of it. But basically, I like it when somebody, and I'm not a small guy, I like people walking up to me going, hey, why don't you go F yourself? I love that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of growing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we, if we're insulting you, that means we like you.
Yes, and that's exactly why I loved it so much. And I'll close with this part of it on this particular part of the discussion. Went up to the North End, have a little Italian food. In and out in about 53 minutes. There, that was good. Now get out. I just love that about Boston. Love it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was actually there the other night myself. I hadn't been there in a while, and so many great restaurants, and it's a special spot.
Indeed, Joey McIntyre with us, ladies and gentlemen, best known as the youngest member of New Kids on the Block. Joey McIntyre has also enjoyed success as a solo artist, starting with his debut album, Stay the Same, which was certified gold and delivered a top 10 single, penned by Joey himself. McIntyre also has co-written more than a half dozen songs for the New Kids, including Still Sounds Good and the Blockhead Anthem, Block Party. Great story, Joey.
You know all this stuff. You're a fan in sheep's clothing.
That's exactly what it is. I'm a fan, and you should see me in sheep's clothing. I do not look good in sheep's clothing. I'm just here to tell you. You know what I mean?
And a Mustang, and
an all-electric Mustang in my sheep's clothing. I look really good going down the highway, no doubt about it. No question. So, how many dates do you do now? That's gotta. I mean, honest to God, that's gotta be very, very hard work being on the road like that, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, you really got to take care of yourself.
Right.
I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and so it is. It does feel like a marathon. Got to take care of yourself. You know, you want to do your best every night, so you got to pick your spots and make sure you're not, blowing a gasket the first night of the tour. You know.
No, I understand that completely. One of the reasons I'm glad I asked you if you were from Boston, because I assumed you were. but sold out at Carnegie Hall. Are you pulling my tit? Joey, that's huge, man.
It was very cool. Yeah, I turned the big 5-0 at December 31st, and so I wanted to do something special. And, yeah, my fans showed up again, and it was an amazing night. We played for 3 hours, and it was just a phenomenal, special night, and it couldn't have gone any better. And, I said, well, maybe I should do more of this. And all this touring and, it keeps me out of trouble, basically. It really does. It keeps me in good shape, and I love to do what I do. So, new kids are in great shape, and we're, doing lots of great things. But this is to balance it out and, do my own thing as well.
Joey, it's pretty amazing, though, and I don't think people do understand how much work it takes. Joey has worked extensively as an actor in film and television, has a long history in theater. Of course, he's singing. I mean, you doing it all. That must take a hell of a lot out of you, doesn't it? Jesus.
I mean, it can. I mean, like I said, you can't be out gallivanting all night, and you gotta make good choices, as my 13-year-old would say. I mean, when I leave,
that's a good line. Make good choices. Joey, you were so good in The Heat with Sandra Bullock. That was such a funny scene. Was that one feel like you were stretching, or did it feel very natural? Because it just seemed like everybody was just playing themselves at that moment.
A little bit. I just did Bill Burr's podcast, and he's a Boston guy, and we were in that movie together, and that is a it sort of feels like a modern day classic to me.
Totally.
What I remember about that famous dinner scene is, you had improv ninjas at the table. They were coming up with stuff. I mean, Sandra Bullock was trying not to laugh. She was pinching her hand underneath the table just to not laugh, because we were slicing and dicing her. But what I was thinking is how do I get in here? I took my spots, but in my mind I said Jane Curtin is in this.
Oh, I love her.
Scene. I said, if Jane Curtin isn't trying to get in, I don't need to get in. It'll happen when it needs to happen. It was such a fun movie to do, and that took place in Boston too. So it was a lot of fun.
Joey, 8 minutes is not enough. Next time you should double book. We'll have you for 16 minutes.
Sounds good.
Joey, you're a good man. Can't wait to have you in town. July 14th, Minneapolis at the Varsity Theater. You're going to love it right there on the campus. You're going to have a great time, Joey. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sir.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Joey McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, coming to town on July 14th. What a nice guy.
He's so funny in The Heat. They kept going, are you a knock? They're all from Boston around this table. Are you a knock? It was so funny, and he just kills it. And he's right. You don't really think about it. It's got to be intimidating. There were so many improv people. But I think he just really shines. He just sits back and he says some, good lines, and you don't think about it as individual. It seems like just a group performance. Mm-hmm. So,
I've been working for him now for about a year and a half. Been doing stuff for him. I did all of his promo videos.
Oh, okay.
And,
that's awesome.
The last time New Kids came to town, he got my sister and my sister-in-law and one of their friends backstage passes, let him come back, hang out.
I bet they had a blast.
He's the sweetest guy on the planet.
You should change the structure of that sentence, by the way.
What, backstage pass?
Last time he was here, he got my sister. And the next word is always pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
please.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That would be amazing if Joey McIntyre got my sister pregnant.
That baby would just be called, no matter boy or girl, Joey McIntyre Jr. right there.
That's
your
best day of all of our lives if that happened.
We all clapped. We were in the room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Josephine is Joey. That's close enough.
We have a Josie next door.
Josie, yep, that's another one. No, he was terrific. Very, very entertaining guy. So you spent a lot of time talking to him?
Yeah, quite a bit.
With him, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, nice guy. Super nice guy.
Seems like he's a really, really good guy. So coming to town.
He's one of the few celebrities that I work with that when I gave him the bill, he paid me almost double out of the kindness of his heart.
Well, that does happen to some people. Not many.
You know how many times I have to deal with multimillionaires? I have to nitpick over.
Yeah.
Did it really take you 2 hours to be? Yes, it took me 7 hours.
But
I'm only charging you for 2. Yeah, but he was like, "What's it cost?" And I'm like, "Here's the bill." And he's like, "Here, take double." I was like, "Joe, you ain't gotta do that." He's like, whatever. Don't worry about it. You help me out all the time. You do free stuff. Just take it. Yeah.
It is funny though. Like even you saying the name Joey. when an adult goes by Joey.
Joey, yeah.
It's odd. I'm not gonna lie. Like even you go, yeah. Then I said to Joey, I'm like, oh wait, the adult man.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
all right.
Jimmy and Billy, like dudes named Billy that are in their 40s. Like,
Oh, it's Tommy, and at my age, it's still Tommy to a lot of people.
Tommy, yeah.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
That's so funny. I feel like I call you Thomas more than I call you anything.
You know
Thomas.
who the number one was with the Tommy was Philip Wise.
Oh yeah, Tommy.
Yeah.
I hear that. As soon as you say Tommy, I can hear Phil say
Philip.
that.
I miss Philip. I love Philip.
Oh, I love Philip.
Such a good guy.
I know. I loved him.
How's he doing? Somebody told me he's moving.
I've heard that for a while. He called me. It must have been about a year ago or so, and out of the blue, and he's just so lovely. I heard he was going to go to Omaha, and then I heard he was going to go somewhere warm, Vegas. Why did I hear? Does he have family that lives in Vegas or something?
His sister, I believe, lives in Vegas.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
I think Gelfand still gets lunch with him here and there. We should ask him on Thursday.
Ask him to tell you the story about playing in his first, I believe it was a high school tournament game in Nebraska, in Fremont, Nebraska. Ask him to tell you a story sometime, because he and a teammate, both black men in America today, are walking along in Fremont, Nebraska. Not a huge minority population in Fremont, Nebraska.
Can't imagine.
At least back then.
Yeah.
And he's walking along with his teammate, who was, by the way, like an offensive lineman, so he was a gigantic man.
Mm-hmm.
And they hear this little chirpy voice. Like, hey, Mom, 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 Mom. He keeps going right like that, right? Mom comes out of the house, and the boy's going, Mom, 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 Mom. Look, Mom, big ends.
Oh my
Only he didn't say big ends.
Jesus.
And so Philip walks over, he goes, how you doing, young man? And the kid was like 4 years old.
Oh my God. You know that household's saying that a lot.
Yeah.
If that kid's casually saying that.
That's what I'm thinking.
That
probably.
is absolutely horrendous.
'Cause the
I
kid-
mean, you're saying that in the household constantly, if that's what you're throwing out there.
Because the little kid didn't know it was a bad thing.
No.
He had no clue it was a bad thing, so I think you're right.
Oh, absolutely.
Comedian David Cross has a great bit about how hate is taught from parents to children. He goes, it's not like a baby's first words are, the Jews have all the money. You know? It doesn't happen that way, you know?
How about Michael Jackson? The Jews do it on purpose. Like, what?
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. Oh, you can find it. You can find that.
I've never seen that. Wow.
The Jews do it on purpose.
It's like, what the actual hell are you? I mean, I don't know why anyone would take him seriously. The man who's got his finger on the pulse of what happens in America. That
you
man
are correct.
That man never lived in the actual U.S. of A.
And he kind of whispers it in a way.
Yeah, it's bad. It's so funny because they added it to a bunch of random like EDM songs.
Yeah, they did.
And they remixed it and all this stuff because it was just the weirdest. It's like when Kanye said that thing, like
George Bush hates black people. Yeah.
And Mike Myers was there and was like,
oh, that's right. George Bush hates black people. I remember that.
That was on SNL. It was like they were raising money for, was it Katrina?
Katrina, yeah.
Yeah.
What was his deal now? What is his deal now? Because he's been anti-Semitic as hell lately.
Oh my God, yeah.
What's that all about? What happened there?
Kanye is mentally
he's nuts.
ill. I mean, he is not doing well, and if you saw some of the outfits he's been wearing,
Really?
It's so funny. He was the other day walking around, and he had these shoulder pads, and you're thinking shoulder pads are like little shoulder pads you wear on your shoulder. No, it looked like he had a full-on football shoulders underneath, like it was like one of those weird motorcycle jackets that has those like built-in looking muscles. It looked crazy. And then him and his girlfriend were walking around in those non-slip socks you get at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
This is on a road. They're walking, crossing a street. I was like, this is unhinged on a level that I appreciate.
I would have to agree with you on that one.
Oh, he's the worst. He's just been saying crazy crap.
Yeah, I don't. What? So he lost hundreds of millions of dollars or something somehow. And
oh yeah, Adidas dropped him.
They just brought back the Yeezys.
Oh, did they?
They just brought them back. Like last week, I saw that Adidas is going to start selling them again.
And I don't think they were for a while doing clothes collaborations with them, and I don't think they're doing that anymore ever.
Mm-hmm. Because the Jews do it on purpose.
Because he was saying all these anti-Semitic things.
I know he was. Like what?
And also, like, talking about how slavery never happened, and I mean, it was crazy.
He said slavery never happened?
He was something along those lines where it was...
Holocaust denier, too, wasn't he?
Oh, really?
Did he say some stuff about
yeah,
that?
I don't know. It was so bad. It was also like, what you are, and then that was... Kim and him had been kind of separated anyways. He lived on their Colorado or Wyoming ranch for, I think, a couple years. And at that point, she kept coming out with these statements, being like, we're working on stuff. I don't know why he's saying this. And then he started talking about, this came out first. He was talking about how the kids were accidents or this or that, talking bad about the kids.
Don't do that.
And then the anti-Semitic stuff come out, and at some point she's like, yeah, we've been done. I can't do with this. And it's actually really painful to watch her trying to not talk shit about him. She really doesn't want to talk shit about him because, her kids are going to see it. Yeah. Well, her kids would eventually see it. And, though that's their dad. And you watch that and you go, she's fighting everything to just not say he's crazy.
I love the fact that a Kardashian is the good guy in this story.
I know.
They're the worst people on earth.
I know, it's
money-grubbing pigs that they are.
Yeah.
I don't know all of them. You could keep all of them, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're living in our world, but yeah, it does kind of. It's funny because your money does not exclude you from having those some problems that those interpersonal relationships. They still exist. It's just on a bigger level. Sure. Like, it's very relatable in a lot of people's lives. My partner is saying all this stuff, but I don't want to talk bad about them because of the kids.
Except for J-Lo and Ben Affleck. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Did you see the house they just bought?
Yeah, they've got. Because her kids are with Mark Anthony, and then his kids are with, what's her name? The one who owns all the cleaning stuff, the actress.
I have no idea. She owns cleaning stuff?
Cleaning stuff.
Yeah, she made a whole line. You'll know her. Jennifer Garner.
Oh, sure,
I didn't know she has a cleaning line?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She's one of the first ones that came out with a cleaning line that was clean, like without harsh ingredients. Yeah. And she made bank off of it.
You're a harsh ingredient.
Thank you.
Kevin Smith was recently on Bert Kreischer's podcast.
Oh, yeah?
And he was talking about how J-Lo and Ben Affleck, he said, I've never seen two more people in love. And I was like, have you watched them two at a Lakers game?
Well, there is that.
They seem like they are at ends with each other. Like,
yeah,
why would you buy I get why you buy a giant house so you can stay on opposite ends.
Yeah.
You can still love somebody, because you brought up last week, Tom, you knew people that were married for 50 years, never lived in the same house, or somebody brought it up. Yeah. And I'm like, but they look miserable together. Do they not? I mean, is it just me?
I don't know. I feel like that is actually probably more realistic than what celebrity couples pretend to do while one of them doesn't want to attend something.
Sure.
I feel like it's more relatable to have somebody going, why are we still here? Like, especially like the Oscar. Ben Affleck doesn't want to go to the Oscars at all.
No.
That guy, you can tell, does not want to go anywhere or do any of that stuff. And it must kill Jennifer Lopez because her thing is image. We want to seem shiny, happy. They were having their publicists dress them on these, dates out. Of course.
God.
Every celebrity couple does that.
Jesus.
And so I think there's something kind of realistic about one person wants to go home, one person doesn't want to be there. I mean, I kind of love it.
Yeah.
$61 million for a $130 million house, though. They got it for a good price.
Yeah, I would say, that seems reasonable.
24 bathrooms.
Yeah, of course.
I have to pee about every 10 feet. I mean, why would you have 24... They're bedrooms and bathrooms, apparently. 24 bedrooms in the house.
I just feel so bad that they're going to have to clean all that.
Oh, I'm sure they're busting their ass this very moment.
Oh.
There's no doubt about it.
That takes all day. 3 bathrooms a week.
I mean, luckily, Jennifer Garner has all those non-harsh cleaning products they can use.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're non-harsh?
Non-harsh,
that deal?
yes. Yeah.
So how is it clean if it's non-harsh? Because the idea of cleaning is to take filth away by extracting it from the surface it's on. So isn't that damaging the product?
You'd think, right?
You'd think. What do you think?
I mean, she might be she might be the baby food one, but there is...
I have no idea.
I remember one of, I don't know, I'll have to, but yeah, Jen... The thing is, it's so popular to have cleaning products that don't have like bleach in it. Some of the big stuff that makes you sick or makes your dog sick or your baby
bleach
sick.
makes people sick?
I think if you're in a small room, but I love cleaning with bleach.
Yeah.
Don't you love it? Don't you just love it when you're cleaning the tub out with bleach and you're like, this is the most clean it's ever been?
I like that move when people go, it burns my nose. And they go, that's how you know it's working.
I know.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that. I love when there's something that's so chemically smelling, especially. I don't know what it is about bleach. It just, I love it.
How much you have to drink to kill yourself, do you think?
I don't think that much.
I wouldn't think so.
Somebody's kid recently, some celebrity's kid recently tried doing that, and they survived.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can they talk? Because I got to believe that burns your vocal cords to a shred.
I don't know. I can't remember who that was, but somebody had, it was big time news, had drank bleach and survived.
How do you gain access to bleach as a little kid?
I think they were that young.
Oh, they weren't? Oh, I mean, they did it on purpose?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, Jesus. Now, that's not a wise choice.
Do you remember during the COVID thing when people were gargling with bleach and thought that was a solution? Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
First of all, like I said, three injections and another 2 boosters, and I still got COVID twice, so I'm a real fan.
Yeah, but you're not dead.
Yeah, well, again, they're saying now, a lot more people are saying now, about 90% of that was complete BS.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it was was it the Syrian? There was some new study that just came out like 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about the amount of children who died from COVID without a underlying condition. Zero. Not a one. Not a one. We closed down schools. We did all this stuff, and it was garbage.
And it was all I make money again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, including that Dr. Fauci, what it was. How much money did he make off all this?
Well, I think right away we were all like on board with this guy because he had so many years invested in it, and he was a. The thing that threw me off with him is when he basically said, no large gatherings. And they went, okay.
Right.
And they said, okay, then what about all the protests that are happening? He goes, well, I can't speak on that.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
exactly.
What do you mean? You said no large gatherings, so that's a large gathering, is it not? I don't have a comment on that. It's like, okay, well, now I guess I can't believe anything that comes out of your mouth.
I love that one picture of him at a baseball game, and he's the only one who's not wearing a mask.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I know. It's so ridiculous.
Everybody's wearing a mask except for Fauci. You don't see him anymore. What happened to him? He disappeared?
I think he's old enough to retire, right? I think that was the thing. He's
got enough money to retire, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
That boy made some money, I'm here to tell you. But such is life. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
But yeah, it's always about money.
Yeah. And that whole thing when he was like, well, we don't know too much about the, natural immunity to it. It's like,
right.
Dude, isn't that your job? You're the guy who's been studying viruses your entire life, and you don't know about herd mentality. Like, okay,
great.
great.
Good point.
Awesome.
It's a very, very good point. No question about it. I like I said, I just wish we could get by and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, the third eye that you grew over the last 18 months, Tom, looks
sure.
really nice.
It's under my hat right here.
You
so
do it with a little mascara. I like that you can do the smoky eye to it. It looks great, yeah.
The one lens sunglasses, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Or a 3 lens, actually be a pyramid, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be a little bit of a pyramid, so that'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
A great look.
Didn't Prince wear sunglasses that had that third eye on there?
Yeah, he did.
He had a lot of cool stuff he was rocking.
God, how old was he when he died in that elevator?
57, I believe.
Oh,
wow.
God, that's terrible.
57, yes, I think 57 is what.
And what was the drug again?
Fentanyl.
It was fentanyl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, it was fentanyl. Does anybody live through fentanyl?
I don't know.
No. Oh, there was that what was that gal's name, the comedian? Super funny. She ended up ODing. Her and like 4 other comedians in Los Angeles OD'd. She was the only one that survived.
Oh.
And yeah, awful. I'm spacing on her name. I can see her face. They got her picture up at House of Comedy.
Lucille Ball?
Yes, that's who it was.
That's not it? Donna Reed?
Nailing it.
Yeah.
One of the two.
All right.
Kate Quigley was her name. That's
Kate
what
Quinn.
it is.
I just call her KQ.
KQ, yeah.
Absolutely.
Very funny, hilarious comedian. Just kind of like really built a name for herself, and just one day just went out and they snorted some, cocaine, and there was some fentanyl in it, and boom, that was that.
Explain this to me as we go to break, because Phil Mackey's coming up in a couple of minutes here right after the break, but I don't understand how we just stand there and let person after person after person bring fentanyl into this country. I mean, they catch some of it, but they don't catch anywhere near as much as they could.
Yeah, you're right. There is something to say. It's like we worry about so many things, but the idea of these drugs that people take once and die from, like, what's the protocol? It's
terrible.
And we know exactly how it's getting here.
Yep.
It starts in China, it goes to Mexico, and comes right over the border. And
100%
it's not like this is like, well, this is the Vancouver fentanyl. No. It all comes from China.
The Vancouver fentanyl,
goes to Mexico, and then it gets smuggled over the border. That is exactly how it happens.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. When you think fentanyl, you think Phil Mackey. No, that's not it.
Oh, my God. Trying to get you an endorsement, Phil.
I'm trying to get you an endorsement. We'll be right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
Ready, set, summer. Hi, Judd Zolgad here. The unofficial start of summer, well, it's here. Whether you're heading to the beach, the ballpark, or a barbecue, summer's more fun when you are feeling your best. Let Livia Weight Control Centers help you make the most of our beautiful summer days. Join Livia's doctor-recommended program today and get 8 weeks free. That's right, 8 weeks for free. You could lose up to 15 pounds or more by the 4th of July. I lost 40 pounds on this program a couple of years back, and I'm going to tell you the most important thing. The dietitians and nutritionists at Livia are going to help you maintain weight loss. We've all lost weight, right? Inevitably, it feels like it comes back. Not with this program. It has done right by me, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to do right by you. Summertime is here, and Livia wants you to make the most of it. Call 855-GO-LIVEA or visit LiviaLIVEA.com. Join today and get 8 weeks for free. Again, 15 pounds or more lost by the 4th of July. Are you kidding me? Call 855-GO-LIVEA. Livia voted Minnesota's best weight loss program 2 years in a row. Check them out to lose the weight.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bielke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit tombernardshow.com, keyword partner.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Mackey joins us. Phil, I'm going to tell you and I'm going to tell Judd, do not let me watch any more Twins games, because whenever I watch, they lose.
Well, maybe if you just stopped watching them, they'd
That's
stop.
what I'm saying.
They'd stop losing. Could you just maybe not watch until first week in November? That'd be great.
First week in November.
We'll set up a little lawn chair on Hennepin Avenue or Washington, wherever the parade's going to be. Maybe somewhere on 94.
I love it. I honest to God, I tune in on it. One game I tuned in about a week ago. They're up 4-1. I tune in. They're up 4-1. By the time I tune out, they're down 5-4 and lose 7-4. Geez, I am a curse. There's no doubt about it.
So I know exactly what time of the game you tuned in yesterday. It was probably, all right, you got some stuff going on, and you come back on a Sunday, flip on the TV right as Royce Lewis is running down the first baseline.
Yeah.
And the Guardians' first baseman is stretching and leaning right into the base path.
Right.
And it can't just be that, they kind of bump into each other and... Nope, Royce Lewis runs full speed into the first baseman who's blocking the base path, goes head over heels, and doesn't just do a somersault or land on his shoulder or something, face plants and cuts the forehead underneath the batting helmet area. Gets pulled from the game because he's bleeding all over the place. So the Twins, by the way, they just have some of the most ridiculous, dumb injury luck that you'll see.
No doubt.
Byron Buxton.
No doubt.
Byron Buxton, now he's 29 years old, but he had a degenerative knee condition diagnosed when he was in the middle of his prime, right? 27 years old. Alex Kirilloff, one of their bright young hitters, I don't know if you followed this in the offseason, but he basically had last-ditch emergency wrist surgery to shave off the last remnants of ligament. Like it's basically, this is the last surgery we can do, and if it doesn't work, you're probably not going to be able to play Major League Baseball long term. And these guys are 26, 25 years old. Royce Lewis has had about 14 ACL injuries, I feel like. I mean, can they just stay healthy for 5 minutes? My God.
And could they keep Lopez out of middle relief? Could they do that too?
Well, how about the guy, since we're on this path? What's funny is they are in first place by 3.5 games, but it's just like the way that they just can kind of spin their wheels. So they traded for Lopez because he was one of the best relievers in baseball last year. He was a closer for the Orioles.
Yes.
The guy they traded for him, Yenier Cano, in fairness, he was 29 years old, had like a 9 ERA with the Twins, is the best reliever in baseball this season for the Orioles.
Maybe it's the coach. You think it might be the coach?
I don't know. Well, they do have they have a pretty good pitching staff, the Twins do.
Yeah, they do.
But how do you, and then of course, it's like, well, I mean, the guy had a 9 ERA last year. Well, the Orioles saw something in him. They changed, they gave him a new pitch or they changed an arm slot or something, and the guy is untouchable.
God, Lopez just gets hammered. I mean, my God.
And you can't really hide him either because they're in all these. They don't score enough runs. They don't give you the games where, all right, it's 8-2 now. We can put him out there with some cushion here. Every game is a 1-run game.
Well, the last 3 games they scored 4 runs in the last 3 games. 1, 2, and 1
combined.
Like, what are you doing? Jesus, let's go.
Well, this is a good therapy session here since we're going down this path here. So
yes, exactly.
So you can appreciate baseball history. The last time a Major League Baseball player hit 400 was Ted Williams in the early 1940s.
Mm-hmm.
So the Twins traded Luis Arias to the Marlins for Pablo Lopez. So they traded for Jorge Lopez last year, Pablo Lopez the starter this offseason. And Pablo Lopez was really good for his first 5 or 6 starts this year. Then the Twins rewarded him with a $20 million a year contract.
Oh, my God.
And he has an 8.5 ERA since the contract. Here's $20 million a year. All right, I'm sleeping in, and it doesn't matter what I do. Luis Arias, on the other hand, is batting, and we're into June now. So we're not, this isn't like April, small sample size. Luis Arias is batting .392 for the Marlins this season through the first 60 games. He is, and it's not a fluke. We've seen him hit, well, last year he won the batting title, right? Every level of the minor leagues he's mashed. Not mashed, he's a singles hitter, but he's hitting .392, Tom, through the first 60 games.
Why did we get rid of him?
Desperate for pitching.
Well,
they're so desperate for pitching, and they didn't. That's one of the big beefs with the front office that took over 6 years ago for Terry Ryan. It's that, hey, we're gonna pluck this 35-year-old whiz kid from the Cleveland pitching pipeline organization, Derek Falvey, and he's gonna develop pitching internally. And they really just haven't until this year. This year, in fairness, they do have a couple guys like this Louis Varland, who's from Minnesota. And Bailey Ober, but they said, how do we get a pitcher? Well, you gotta trade a good hitter to get a good pitcher, I guess. So that was the big reason. And now he's gonna hit 400 for the Marlins, apparently.
Catherine and I went to the opening series with the Twins and the Marlins in Miami, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, there's Arias. God, I loved watching Arias. Maybe he's coming to an end of it. He got up and just hammered it all night long. He just hit after hit after hit. It was unbelievable.
It's incredible. And in an era too where I think strikeouts there used to be a pride factor. You ask Herbie on Fridays, right?
Yeah,
the guys didn't like to strike out for 100 years in baseball, and now it doesn't really matter. And outs and out. If you can put 25 home runs on the board on the other side, then who cares about striking out? Well, Luis Arias is a throwback, man. He's only struck out 11 times all season. Jesus. 80 hits,
that's
11 strikeouts.
God.
He really is a modern day Tony Gwynn, right? If you were to take 80s and 90s Tony Gwynn and put him in today's baseball, you'd get Luis Arias.
I don't know, man. How much would they have had to pay him to stay here, do you think?
Well, that's the thing. So baseball contracts are weird. When you get a young player up, they don't become a free agent for 6. So once their clock starts, when they get called up to the big leagues, you get that guy for cheap for 6 years. So if they wanted to, and now the first few years you're literally paying them under $1 million, and then you get into the arbitration years as they're called. So you would have paid him a few $1 million, but Luis Ariz is cheap for like 2.5 more seasons until he hits free agency.
Oh, God.
So it wasn't even, sometimes I know fans, and there's some justification for this, the cheap Polads, right? They never pony up. That hasn't really been, they offered, they're paying Carlos Correa $35 million a year. They paid Josh Donaldson to be a stiff for 3 years.
Right.
$25 million. So it's not as much of that. They just, I think they desperately needed pitching, and I'll be honest, I think they thought Ariz peaked last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to do it again. Kind of like you see, you can go watch the game in Florida. That was a good season last year, but do it again. And he's like 70 points higher this year than he was last year on the batting average.
He looked brilliant at the plate, I'll tell you that. Just sitting there live watching Ariz, I'm going, why did we get rid of him? Why?
He's so much fun to watch.
He is.
He is. But this team, I still think this is the type of team, they're not going to win 100 games or anything in the regular season, but
no.
I think if they can keep the top 3 starting pitchers intact and healthy, and that's a huge if with this franchise, and if Royce Lewis and Alex, if the young guys can keep, there's like 3 guys in this lineup that if they can just stay in, they're going to be fine. I think we can accomplish the historical goal of winning a playoff game for the first time since George W. Bush's first administration. That's all we really. 18 straight playoff game losses. World Series would be great, Tom. I just want them to win game 2 against the Astros on October 5th. That is my confetti throwing parade this year.
I understand that completely. It just you got to score more than 1 or 2 runs. Well, look, they scored 1 run and won the second game of the series 1-0. So I don't know if they talked themselves into, I guess we don't have to score that much because they lost the last 2 because they scored 2 runs and then 1 run and got their ass handed to them.
And you got to think, Dave St. Peter's probably not happy. These games are like score some runs so people buy beer for 3 hours.
That's very true.
These games are wrapping up. By the way, I went to my second ever Minnesota United soccer game.
Oh, you did?
On Saturday.
Is that a nice stadium? I've never been there.
It's beautiful.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
It's so much so. And by the way, so we do carry the Minnesota United games on the radio on 1500 ESPN, and they've been a wonderful partner. And I guess this is my 3rd game. I've been to 3 games now, and we used to do live broadcasts from the brew hall on the off days and stuff. But I consider Twins games to be. I think Target Field is the best bar in the Twin Cities. It's an expensive bar, but there's a bunch of places you can just go in. You never really have to sit in your seat. You can go to Herbeck's. You can go to the Town Ball Tavern. All these different places. Minnesota United games. First of all, they're very quick, right? It's 45 running minutes in the first half, then a halftime, then 45 running minutes. There's no piped-in music. There's no organ. There's no arena rock. It's just the fans chanting and cheering the whole game. You're in and out in like 2 hours. You sit in your seat and you watch, and then you go up, get a beer at halftime, you go down. It's one of the most fun sporting environments, I would say, and I'd like to go to more Minnesota United games going forward.
How about Steve Cannon, man? You remember Steve Cannon, legendary announcer? Had the greatest comment on that sport I have ever heard. He's talking to Morgan Mundane on the air for young people. This is a guy who could do like 4 or 5 different voices, and a lot of people did not know he wasn't talking to someone else. He was talking to himself.
Well, that's what this show is too, by the way. Brittany and Rudy don't actually exist. It's just Tom.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how I feel about my self-esteem is pretty much that anyways.
Myself. So Cannon comes on one day and they're talking about getting a soccer team. This must have been, 30 years ago, whatever it was. I think the Kicks had just come along. So when would that have, that's a long time
late
ago.
70s, early 80s maybe? Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So I'm listening to Cannon. He goes, "Hey, gang, we're here with Morgan Mundane. Morgan, so what do you think of this soccer thing, Morgan?"
"Well, Steve-O, it's just fine. Everything's great. I like watching it."
Goes, Morg, I don't know if you know this or not, but you know why 20,000 kids in the state of Minnesota play soccer?
"No, I don't know, Steve-O. Why?"
"So they don't have to watch it." Really?
That's funny.
He's arguing with himself about soccer.
It is funny though, because you watch a game. I mean, there was 2 goals scored and I don't think they didn't do like overtime or anything. In the regular season, it just ends in a draw, right?
Right.
But fans will celebrate action. So if there's if there's a run and a crossing pass and a near goal, right, that will get a standing ovation for a good effort.
Right.
It's a different culture. It's a very European. I've always said this is a very American way to look at soccer. I've always said if the games were like 8-6, if we had some higher scoring games, I think more Americans, and myself included, would be more interested. But sometimes you do watch for 3 hours and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. The whole thing is just, what are you going to do, right?
We got to get Tom. I think we got to get Tom out for a ceremonial, first kick or something.
Oh, wow. That
Center
would be,
field.
I think that'd be super fun. Plus, their merch is pretty cute, so I wouldn't mind a hat.
Some sky blue. I think Tom would look pretty good. I think he would.
Yes. It would bring out those baby blues.
Hey, gang.
So another highlight from the Mackey family weekend here. So we're always a couple seasons late on some of these popular shows. We just started watching Succession for the first time over the
I'm
weekend.
so jealous. I
How
wish I
is
could
that?
have a head injury to rewatch it all.
So Tom, you haven't seen any of it yet?
I saw the first episode.
Okay. We're 5 episodes into season 1.
Any good?
And we are hooked. We're hooked
Oh,
after
so it's
5
really good,
episodes.
huh?
Oh, I love it. It's such a good drama, and you know it's a good drama because any comedic relief they give that's good, you laugh hard because your stomach's so tied up for all the other things.
Yes, it's I would say again through 5 episodes, and there's a bunch of people that just watched the season 4 finale last week. So
The series finale.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of those shows. How do I explain this? You ever watch movies and TV shows where the whole time the main characters are just making mistakes, and you're just like your gut is in knots because you know that they're just screwing up.
Oh, yeah, you're so right, Phil. And there's also no hero. There's no one where you go, that's a good person. I mean, they're all have huge flaws, and you can just see them. And you're so right. It's almost like, don't do that. Please don't do that. You're going to do that.
Sometimes those anti-hero shows are the best shows. I mean, Mad Men was like that. Don Draper was just a terrible human being. You're kind of rooting for him the whole time.
Absolutely. And I think it says a lot about your character who you identify with. My husband and I, we're also behind. We have one left of Succession. We are with this little child. We don't kill it in the keeping up with everything. But the other day he goes to me, he goes, I think that Roman's my favorite. And then there was an episode where I go, really? You think Roman's your favorite? I go, I think you could do a whole psychological set of what that means, who you identify with, and who you want to win.
That's another funny twist, though, on that. So Macaulay Culkin has been the most famous child actor, and his actual brother and little brother in Home Alone, Fuller, who wets the bed, is now like one of the main characters on this wildly popular show, Kieran Culkin.
Oh, he's so talented.
Yeah, he is. I agree with you.
Yeah, he plays himself because he does red carpet stuff, and he did a couple interviews with Brad Blanks, and they get along quite well. Real dry, and he is playing 1,000% himself.
I love it.
That is a good deal, no question. He's got like 3 or 4 brothers, doesn't he? I think
so.
Macaulay Culkin does.
There's a few Culkins. You'll see him sprinkled in too through like random sitcom episodes over the years.
Right, exactly.
We can't afford Macaulay, but what about Bobby Culkin?
Maybe
Seamus Culkin. We can get a discount.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember he was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That was the first time I saw him acting, and I was like, this guy. Yeah. He's got such snark, and he played this gay roommate, and he was just so good. And then I was just happy to see him in Succession. When he gets casted, he's perfect for the role.
All right, your boy Phil has to go. He's got other duties. What are you going to do?
Yeah, old Macadac has to deliver the State of the Twins podcast this morning, which I think we just did a little warm-up. That was like my bullpen session with you there, just kind of bitching about the Twins.
We have no notes, Phil. You did great.
Thanks.
Okay, here's the lead-in. Phil Mackey talking about the Twins. They suck!
Yeah.
There, that was it.
Fire everyone's ass.
Fire everybody. All right, Phil, we'll talk to you later in the week.
All right, see you, friends.
Thanks, pal. Phil Mackey, ladies and gentlemen, Skor North, of course. My picture dropped off the screen. I'm trying to get it back on. It's on my screen, but it's not on your screen.
I'll get you set up.
Okay, let me see what you're doing, because now that should just pop up, right?
Yeah.
What are you clicking on?
I'll explain it later.
What is that, a hairdryer or a duck?
Both.
Pornhub.
Oh, it's Pornhub.
Yeah.
That's what it
You
is.
have a subscription, right?
Subscription
He's a
to
premium member.
Pornhub. Okay,
Ah, there
so
we
now.
go. There's Tommy.
But why didn't I? That's exactly what I did, and it wouldn't pop up for me.
Is it though?
What do you got? The magic
Is
touch?
it though? What is it though?
Get rid of her picture.
Is it?
Get her picture off of
Oh, I can be. Yeah.
Speaking of Macaulay Culkin, did you guys ever see Saved?
Yes, he was so good in
I don't know if
Saved.
what is that?
Saved is Macaulay Culkin and then
Isn't it Mandy Moore?
Mandy Moore, yeah. It is one of my favorite movies. It is so underrated.
It's
and
good.
There's a scene where Mandy Moore plays this sort of sanctimonious, self-righteous. They all go to a Catholic school, and she plays this girl who's
Very religious.
Very religious.
Well, I'll pray for you, kind of woman.
Yeah,
Just saying anything.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's one scene where a woman says something like, "You don't know anything about Christ's love." And as she walks away, Mandy Moore takes a Bible and hits her with it and goes, "I am filled with Christ's love."
Oh, there you go.
Chuck's a Bible.
Well, no,
I am
proves it,
filled
though.
with Christ's love. It's so funny. I haven't seen that movie in forever. You just made me want to go watch Saved.
Yeah, it's good.
What's called Saved.
Saved, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, finding some movies, any movie you can find to be good, because like I said, we watched, I think it's called Hypnotic with Ben Affleck and, I don't know, a couple other people. Some people you'd recognize, no doubt. I thought it was a pretty, I didn't think it was a great movie, but I thought it was pretty decent, and I find out that nobody went to see it. It was a complete bomb in the theaters, and I don't know, what is it now about this? So you'll go see all this garbage they put out there, 3-hour, space movies and all that. It's like, really? That's it?
Yeah.
People love that stuff.
And that Hypnotic one, Kristen had made it clear that it was known as a disaster.
Yeah.
But I didn't really hear why or what was so bad about it.
I guess nobody went to see it in theaters.
Okay.
Cost me $20 to watch it last night.
Ben Affleck, you sometimes go, he hasn't been in things in a while, but he's just kind of picks and chooses his stuff now. Because he was in that one with Matt Damon back in the, was set back where they're accused. Matt Damon's wearing a terrible wig in it, and he accuses his wife of sleeping with somebody. And it's like Renaissance, set in Renaissance days. Do you guys not know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I thought it was so good. It does different timelines. Like it does each person's point of view, and it goes through it. It's like the king or something, or
I'm spacing on the name.
the wife, or the fight, or something. Dang it, it's killing me. But that was so good.
Ooh. Till you find it, I got to read this.
Okay.
Because I agree with Patrick Royce 100%. Patrick Royce's headline this morning in the Star Tribune, Patrick Royce says the Twins should be done with Max Kepler.
Oh, dang.
I agree with him, though. Yeah. Max Kepler has done nothing for that team in a long time. What do you think that's all about, Rudy? What happened to him? He had one good year.
I don't follow the Twins all that much.
Oh, okay.
All I know is that there are people that have hitched their wagon to that guy, and
I
it
know.
has been nothing but a disaster.
Yep.
Yeah. It just keeps going down the hill.
The movie I was trying to think of is The Last Duel, and it also has Adam Driver in it.
Adam Driver,
It's so good. I would highly recommend that. Yeah, you should watch The Last Duel. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's the whole concept is it's back in the day if somebody accuses somebody of having sex with his wife or rapes her or whatever, and there's different points of view of if it was rape or consensual or whatever. But it was back in, God, I'm trying to even think what year they had it in. Back in the day where you could you geared up your horse and went and fought somebody, and so they, instead of deciding of a trial, they said, all right, let's have a duel instead, and they have a full-on blood match to see if this woman was a liar or not. And that's how they decided it. I think you'd really like this movie.
What's it called?
The Last Duel.
The Last Duel.
Yeah.
I can give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl. I think it's on something. We watched it for free. I don't think we rented it or anything.
I just was looking at kind of the highlights from all the newspapers and stuff, looking at Star Tribune right now. There are two pieces in the opinion page, tax, spend, elect, repeat. An updated version of this formula from Harry Hopkins could work in Minnesota. Tax, spend, elect, repeat. That's what we do. And then another story in the opinion page, Minnesota climate turns chilly for free speech. I haven't read that yet. Has anybody read that story?
No.
How do you turn chili on free speech? Free speech is kind of important, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's hot outside, so it's not a natural chill.
Now, see? Sweeping elections bill likely puts Minnesotans at risk for harassment and intimidation for their beliefs. Why would you do that to anybody? Explain to me why. Because a sweeping elections bill, that's what this is. It could put people at risk for intimidation and harassment. Why do you want people being intimidated and harassed in your state? That makes no sense to me.
Also, why are people so freaked out by people saying opposing opinions? Why does that throw you off so much?
You don't have to believe the same things that I do. I believe what I believe. You believe what you believe. Good for you, good for me.
Yeah, you and I disagree all the time, and by no means have I ever left here and gone, because of what you believe in, I can't work with that guy.
Well, there are people like that. Oh, they don't believe it. Well, that puke over or whatever that joint is over there, I can't remember, but he was literally, because they were talking about bringing me over there to do some show or whatever, right after, I was still at KQ. I'm going to go, well, I don't know, he's a little too conservative for me. I'm like, I'm too conservative for you?
But even if you were, let's pretend.
Yeah, where's the balance?
Yeah, let's pretend you are, you're this conservative Republican. What's the harm in having you have a show? We have so many different viewpoints that you should allow on. And, we've got, I've, especially with my in-laws, a lot of them are Republicans and proud of it and all these things. And me and Justin are far too lazy to say or have an opinion in politics.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
But why is that so bad? Why is that so?
I don't get it.
Why are people so we can't even have this voice exist out in public. We can't even have this. We can't create space for everybody's opinion.
Shouldn't they do a little research before they start criticizing people?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's what's funny is in this scenario, we're pretending that some of the things they're saying is true, that you're this right-wing guy, right? If we just pretend, why would that be so bad that you had a show and you have the ability to talk? Now, I agree that you don't identify with that at all.
No.
And, but I just think sometimes you got to stop and go, why would that even matter if that's true?
Well, and the other thing is, could you do a little research? Because you would find out I'm none of the things you think I am.
No, that people are not going to do research.
Why not?
There's no way.
So they'd ruin your career rather than do a little work themselves, the lazy bastards.
But why would that ruin your career?
My voiceover career was destroyed by the pricks in the state.
I'm saying if people if people were saying you're a Republican.
That's what they were saying.
But why would that ruin your career?
Because you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're a this and a
let's
that.
Differentiate
which you're not
right now because it gets.
You can't.
But that's what pisses me off. I have no skin in the game. I can't pretend to even know enough to say where I fall. But when you don't differentiate a Republican and a racist, those are two extremely different things.
You're right.
And so it's like when you group those together, you're really harming because the actual racists, the actual sexists, the actual monsters out there get to just kind of blend in. So it's like putting those together is like when people put together, here's a really terrible example, but they're like, oh, gay people and, they're this and that. It's like, it's all the same. You're grouping things all the same, and it's so close-minded, and we get nowhere.
But why do they do that? I don't understand that.
I don't either. It's like...
Makes no sense to me.
It's like they learned how to communicate by taking a debate class of do anything to win. It doesn't matter what we communicate. It's I have to win this debate no matter what, even if I have to bring in fake facts along with it.
And you know what the number one reason is? I did some research. The number one reason that they did that is because I got to be very successful and I never went to college. Yeah. They hate that. The fact that I didn't do it their way, therefore I'm the enemy.
And you have, if you have a different perspective and you view that, hey, for my perspective, this is my point of view, going to college did not help you out at all. So that's your perspective.
Exactly.
And why? That's an interesting perspective. Right? Like, why would that matter?
I agree. Hey, look, 18 years old. LeBron James, what did he sign for? Like $80 million when he was 18 years old?
I don't know if it was that much, but it was a hefty contract when he was that age, yeah.
So do you hate him, too, because he didn't have to go to college? I don't think he ever even finished high school.
And that's what's interesting, too.
Much like Tommy.
Just like everything, whatever works for you.
Exactly. Be happy for the guy.
Right? I mean, I'm glad there's professions out there that you have to go to school for 8 years. And I'm glad there's professions out there where you go, yeah, we can get this done in a year or 2 years, or you don't have to go to school. You're going to get on your grind and start a company. Like, why would that bug me? Why would that bug anybody?
Because we're being taught, 4 votes, by the way, everything that's wrong with this country is because it's for voting, for people to vote for you. You will do anything to get people to vote for you so you're successful. It's destroying this country, and they got to stop.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm in a bubble because I don't feel like I experience that. And when it comes up, it's so abrupt when somebody's like, well, I don't like that person because they're, and I go, are they though?
I know.
Are they those things you're saying? No idea.
Like I said, I like to use for the 2 examples that I have, Chad Hartman and Mike Lindell. They could not be further apart politically, but they're both friends of mine.
You're not going to lunch with them both, though. We'll say that.
At the same time? Probably not. That's probably true. But I know a lot of people on the fringes of everything.
Yeah.
And, I don't believe a lot of things that either one of them believe.
Yeah.
But I don't say, oh, you're horrible, because you don't believe what I believe.
And that's their point of view. That's their experience. That's the world they are etching out in this, they're finding that that's the world they want, and that's the world they want to create, or the opinions they want to have, and that's fine.
But why does everybody else have to be the bad guy? That's the part I don't get.
I'm with you. I don't understand
Why
at all.
do you need bad guys? If you're so damn right on about what you believe, why do you need bad guys? It makes no sense to me.
I'm telling you, pre-pandemic, before I loved not knowing most people's political
I agree with you.
Opinions. And for some reason, 2020 came and we're like, we better post everything we believe or don't believe on Facebook, because for some reason, if it's not known that I am for this or anti this or whatever, I'll just die inside. I need everyone to know exactly where I fall on plastic utensils, good, bad? How do you feel about it? Headphones, are they going to kill us all? Should we all not wear it? And all the things. It's like, this is insane.
Mm-hmm. We got a new microphone, baby.
Yeah.
Let's see if this one works.
I think we got to do this on the air. Is what I think.
Actually, Adam is just going to beat the shit out of me with that thing. That's why he brought it in.
He's going to hit you right in the noggin.
He's going to hit me with it. Yeah. All right, we can try it. If you guys want to do it,
we'll take a break.
Go to break.
And we'll come back and change out the mic, baby. Okay. We'll be right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you.
Ready, set, summer. Hi, Judd Zolgad here. The unofficial start of summer, well, it's here. Whether you're heading to the beach, the ballpark, or a barbecue, summer's more fun when you are feeling your best. Let Livia Weight Control Centers help you make the most of our beautiful summer days. Join Livia's doctor-recommended program today and get 8 weeks free. That's right, 8 weeks for free. You could lose up to 15 pounds or more by the 4th of July. I lost 40 pounds on this program a couple of years back, and I'm going to tell you the most important thing. The dietitians and nutritionists at Livia are going to help you you maintain weight loss. We've all lost weight, right? Inevitably, it feels like it comes back. Not with this program. It has done right by me, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to do right by you. Summertime is here, and Livea wants you to make the most of it. Call 855-GO-LIVEA or visit LiveaLivea.com. Join today and get 8 weeks for free. Again, 15 pounds or more lost by the 4th of July. Are you kidding me? Call 855-GO-LIVEA. Livea voted Minnesota's best weight loss program 2 years in a row. Check them out to lose the weight.
And Brittany's the worst person I've ever met. Oh, wait a minute, we're on the air again?
Oh, sorry, the meeting's done. That was a glimpse into most meetings I go to.
The meeting's done.
Our show meetings we have is just usually, this is where Brittany needs to improve.
We're not doing any show meetings. Not happening. Wait a minute, he's got to test his mic out. What's that?
Here are some areas of opportunity for you, sir.
Yeah, there you go. How's the new mic sound, man? Do this.
Check one. Oh!
Nice.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. All right.
Oh, you just didn't let us respond. We're going.
Oh. This sounds.
Okay, let's do it again.
Sounds a little.
But this time when I introduce you, go like this.
If I could, I would.
It's
an impressive skill.
Okay, yeah. You know what Adam said? I'm probably going to have to turn this up a little bit more. But
yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Take a little bass off it too.
Little bass off it. That's just actually my. It's my velvet pipes is what you're hearing right now.
Velvet pipes. Not effective for pipes, by the way, making them out of velvet.
Yeah.
Okay. Works for me. That's all I know.
There we go.
That's a good sounding mic.
Right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Perfect. That sounds great.
There we go. Sweet.
10 out of 10. Adam, round of applause for Adam, everybody.
Adam.
You can see him on live shows this week.
We
Check
just
him
giving
out.
her
He'll
the
be
finger. I was hoping you were giving her the finger when you walked by doing that.
No, Adam is lovely. And
Adam's lovely.
You would never do that.
He's lovely.
When I go to hang out with them, I'm always like, why aren't you giving me the finger? I'm used to it.
What?
Yeah,
what is
you
that
finally
supposed to
realized
mean?
I was attacking you.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're
I
saying.
had to scratch my eye there.
Yeah.
No, that mic sounds great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Have a good drive. Be safe. I don't know what to say. Make good choices, sir.
Take safe. Take safe. Take care safe. God damn it.
Something.
That was a weird goodbye. I'm sorry.
It's awkward.
I don't know. I gotta go. I feel like I want to peel off my own skin.
Okay, I want to run something by you guys because this just popped up on the news feed.
Yeah.
China just drilled the deepest hole ever. Is that a good idea?
I feel like it doesn't make me feel good and happy.
Isn't there like molten lava down there or something? I mean, what's down there?
You're going to release some sort of kraken is what's going to happen. Knock it off, China.
Release the kraken. Is China just in place to do everything that's anti-American?
China's just like, we should probably try it. That's what their motto is. Let's try it.
Yeah.
There's enough people there that you can't really say what they're doing, right? Like, there's too many people. So, of course, there's going to be the guy who's like, we should see a big hole we can make. Got enough people in a country, you're going to do weird stuff.
What's at the center of did they even know what's at the center of the earth?
I mean, I imagine, as you said, it's got to be molten and it's just all lava and
Tootsie Pop, right?
Yeah.
Because the compression alone would have to cause a lot of heat, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know. I feel like why are you messing with things? That makes me feel uneasy for some reason.
Oh, digging that deep?
Yeah.
I understand.
Like,
what
I feel
you're
like
saying.
the world's going to spin a little wonky now, and then we're going to, like, run into something. I don't like the feeling of it.
I got a friend of mine who's from northern Minnesota, obviously on the Iron Range. He's a miner, and he said to me one time, when I say a miner, not age-wise, an actual iron ore miner.
Yeah, I got that. But he's a miner.
Yeah.
He's a young miner.
And he said to me one time, he goes, isn't it weird that we just keep pulling stuff out of the earth and then, trees, and then we burn it, or like some of this stuff, it just ends up in the atmosphere and then it just goes out into space. Wouldn't you think the earth would be getting lighter? Like, wouldn't we come off our axis or like our gravitational pull? And I was like, you have far too much time in that steam shovel, my man.
I do not want to think about that.
I don't want to think about that.
It gives me anxiety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think we're going to develop a problem with balance because
that's how I feel?
8 billion people over on the eastern side of things, and over here on the western side, it's what, like the 1.7 billion or something?
Yeah.
But I think we have more dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, and that balances the whole
We're
planet?
actually fine,
We are lousy with dolphins.
It's insane. You can't drive a jet ski without hitting one of those.
Can't throw a cat without hitting a dolphin.
I like That's saying a lot.
Nothing wrong with that.
Throw a cat without hitting a dolphin.
Okay, you've got. How old is your daughter?
She turns 15 tomorrow.
Oh
Okay,
my
15 tomorrow.
Yeah.
God.
And Go-Go is what? About 3
She's
days.
1.
3. She's. That's right. She
Yeah,
just
she
had a
turned 1
birthday.
in May.
That's right. She
Kimmy's
just had
a
a
Gemini
birthday.
as well.
See?
Oh my God, I'm putting her birthday in my calendar.
Okay, so you want to raise a family and preferably not in a city with a nuclear waste site. Wallet Hub examined data from 182 U.S. cities to make the choice a little easier, crunching data in 5 categories: family fun, health, safety, education, childcare, affordability, and socioeconomics. Okay, so where is the best place in the United States to raise children, to raise a family?
I mean, this is biased, but I feel like it's Minnesota.
Yeah, Rochester.
Rochester, Minnesota.
It always
Stay
is
close
like
to the
not
hospital.
Minneapolis. It's like a step over, and then everybody reading the list goes, I don't know, Midwest when they're not living here.
Yeah, there you go. The highest ranking city. Oh, you want to do the lowest ranking first, then the highest ranking?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Lowest ranking city. Cleveland's dead last. Poor Cleveland.
Poor Cleveland.
They always get kicked in the nuts, don't they?
Cleveland and Detroit, man, they're
Well-
never on the top of the good list.
Here you go. Cleveland, Memphis, and then Detroit.
Oh, sorry, Detroit.
Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah, Birmingham's a very sad city.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
When you get off the freeway and you get on that one road to go into town, every business is closed. Every one of them.
Yeah, it's not great.
Really sad. Newark, New Jersey, San Bernardino, California, Shreveport, Louisiana, Baltimore, Maryland, Hialeah, Florida, and Wilmington, Delaware. I pretty much can't argue with any of those.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not great cities, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now, these are the top 10 cities.
Yes.
San Francisco, California, I would have to argue with that. I'm sorry. That place is a complete shithole.
No,
now.
it's awful.
They gotta be like a suburb-esque, because actual San Francisco, where you're raising kids,
It's
unless
terrible.
you have $70 million, who has a yard there?
Yeah,
What
that's
are
true.
you talking about?
Okay, number 9 is Gilbert, Arizona. I don't even know where Gilbert is. Is that kind of down there by
Maybe towards Phoenix?
Phoenix or Tucson or something? I love Tucson, Arizona. That's a great town. I don't know where Gilbert is. I bet you it's a suburb of one of them. That'd be my guess anyway.
Yeah, it's a southeast suburb of Phoenix.
Oh, there you go. How about Scottsdale? That's also a suburb of
It's
Phoenix,
also a
right?
suburb, yeah. It's just
Scottsdale is nice.
Yeah.
Scottsdale's very nice.
It's like a fake city the way it's so clean.
Yeah.
Okay, this is leaning pretty heavy already. Because the first 4, 10, 9, 8, and 7 are California, Arizona, Arizona, California.
Yeah.
Somebody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, San Diego's number 6, so now it's 5 in a row. Oh, wait a minute, we'll go the other side of the earth on this one. South Burlington, Vermont is number 5.
All right.
Vermont's okay.
Yep, I've never been to Vermont. I got to get out there. Plano, Texas. The only thing I know about Plano, Texas is a good friend of mine went and lived there after he got out of prison. So that was good.
Good for him.
Gets out of prison, moves to Plano, Texas.
Plano.
Good thing. Irvine, California is number 3. A lot of California in here.
What are the metrics? I
don't know.
I guess we'll have to
It's
look at them
interesting.
later.
Overland Park, Kansas. That's right by Kansas City,
Yes.
I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But the number 1 is Fremont, California. I don't know if this guy was from California or not, but there sure as hell are a lot of... California is a disaster right now.
The first metric is how available are oranges, or something weird where it's like
Maybe.
specific to California.
think?
Like, how often do you get to see celebrities walking around?
Yeah. Paulie Davis Doig is her name. Paulie Davis Doig, D-O-I-G. I would not go through life with the last name Doig.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Hey,
Mr.
Doig.
and Mrs. Doig are here.
Hey, Doig, what'd it be like? Freaky deaky? What do you think?
It do be like freaky deaky.
It do be freaky deaky.
It
All
sure
right.
do.
That's going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you tomorrow.